Last time on Square Roots, we fertilized some Krogans, released the Rachni, and saved the Citadel counselors from a coup. Also, we met the mother of all Thresher Maws. Does that make her a Thresher Mama?
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is BimJanks. I am joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Hello, it's me, Matthew Van Zant, back this week. Sorry I was off last week. Hope you all enjoyed our guest for the week, Mr. Cutie.
John Argent Brandon.
Do explain.
Isn't that what they call those monsters in Omega? The Argents?
No.
Haven't you played this game like 6 times, Jim? Why are you asking us questions?
I don't know. Isn't that what they call them?
I'm looking at through Vanessa's notes and she doesn't name them.
I didn't name them. They don't deserve a name. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't speak before I'm introduced.
Hold on. John Omega Brandon. Just make it easy.
I wish I was as cool as Arya. She's so cool.
Is she?
Miss Vanessa, Arya said F.
That's very bad.
And also joined by Vanessa.
Oh, hello. I apologize.
Let me get through the intro.
For speaking before I was introduced.
After. Let me try this again.
We should probably start this whole episode over. All right, let's clap.
Nope,
1, 2.
Miss Vanessa, Arya said F.
Oh, Arya. Now, did you say F?
No one's going to be Arya.
Yeah, none of these guys are willing to do an Arya impression. They're too afraid of being canceled. As well they should be.
I'm a
sexy Jabba.
I'm a sexy Jabba. And I'm mean.
This is my fucking
like
station.
Ew.
Why is it her station?
Swears.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about our favorite classic RPGs, one chunker at a time. And we're still playing Mass Effect 3.
Don't say it like that. It's a blessing to be playing Mass Effect 3.
I'm definitely enjoying it.
I'm not loving this game.
I Jim Banks this game when it first came out, which seems like a bad way to play games because I think expectations and stuff are different now. I'm having more fun than I did Jim Banksing it back in 2012.
You mean like you played it really fast?
Yeah, I played it in like 3 days.
That's the best way to play a game. Well, not the best way. I won't say that. But it's a way.
Mm-hmm. I got so mad every time it cut to that stupid forest and the slow running.
Oh, I know. By the way, those monsters were called adjutants.
Ah.
Yeah.
These monsters are so agitating.
Mm-hmm.
I leveled up by getting a new Switch.
We're not there yet. Wait, do we do the game first, or do we do the game
stop asking
We have
this
this
every
discussion
fucking
every
week.
week.
It's very
I never
important that
remember.
we level up first and then do the game, or else like society crumbles.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty
let's
much.
go ahead and level up. So, Matt,
I
how did
need
you
some
level
time
up?
to warm up. Like, I want to talk to you guys and not just jump right into getting my dick beat off in a
By
really
Paul.
mean
Your
game
dick
that Jim
beat
made
off?
up that he cheats at.
Welcome to Square Roots, the show where we...
That's the game that we play when we're not on the internet.
Yeah,
Beating our dicks off.
that's a single player
you're thinking
game.
of Try Not to Come, the internet's most popular game.
At least according to ads, it's like, if you own a mouse, try not to come with this strategy game.
I don't understand that selling strategy, because those ads are mostly attached to adult content, which you would be looking at if you were trying to come.
Right,
And
but
generally,
Mostly.
if you
wanna-
want to
But
play...
it said like sarcastically, like, try not to. Wink. I mean, it's basically saying, this is going to make you go.
well, I think it's like saying it's a challenge because it's so hot. You're going to be like, this is awful. This is an awful beginning to this podcast.
I leveled up this week by getting a new Switch. Thank
Wow.
you.
Yay.
Congratulations.
It's the OLED model. My Switch, unfortunately, was breaking down. It was overheating anytime I tried to use it in the dock. I may still try to get it repaired because I don't want it to fully break down.
Then you can play
having-
two Switches at the same
or
time.
his-
Having a second Switch around for handheld is pretty great with two kids in the house.
Yeah,
You know?
they're just not allowed to touch Daddy's Switch.
They're not allowed to. There's a very clear rule that they are not allowed to use the new Switch in handheld mode. They're allowed to play it while it's docked on the TV.
Okay.
But
They get
they're
their-
not allowed to take it out of the dock.
Their little hands are always covered in sugar and syrup, and they'll get everything all
Cheeto dust.
gummed up.
I mean, the screen on the old one is so dinged up too, and we go through Joy-Cons like water. Like they rip them to pieces like animals. Anyway, and to commemorate my new Switch, I just purchased Metroid Prime
Ooh.
Remaster.
He has not had a chance to play it yet, so there's a review for
No, it's downloading as we speak. So my other level up this week is that I, just in continuation of last week, I finished the second book in the Scholomance series by Naomi Novik called The Last Graduate. It was great. I loved it. It had some good twists and a devastating ending, and I am now quickly tearing my way through the third book. Big fan of this series so far, and I just want to recommend again that everybody check it out. It's fun. It's like a reverse Harry Potter with a lady protagonist who is destined to murder a lot of people and doesn't want to do that. And she goes to a school, and the school is evil and filled with monsters and has like a 25% survival rate. And she wants to fix it. And it's pretty fucking great, actually. She's a very relatable character to me because she's very irritable and angry, and I feel the same.
How does that
about
relate
everything.
to you? You know.
She's pissy, I'm pissy. We click. Anyway, that's it, I guess. That's my level up for this week. What about you, Vanessa?
Well, as everybody who is listening to this episode when it comes out knows, and as nobody who is listening to this episode later without looking at the date that it was originally released knows, this week was everyone's favorite romantic holiday, Palentine's Day. The day when you
Palentine's Day?
schlep around with your sad single friends and your sad single life and do sad single activities like go see Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Is
That's
it
right.
called Last Dance because he dies at the end?
It's called Last Dance because, oh man, let me tell you, that Magic Mike, he's not dancing anymore. You might think, hey, Vanessa, wasn't that the plot of Magic Mike 2, where he was like, I'm not going to dance anymore, and then he agrees to go do one last dance? Yes, it was, but in this movie, unlike the last movie, this time he's not gonna dance anymore, but then he agrees to go do one last dance.
Ooh. For some kind of rich chic?
Yeah, kind of. For Selma Hayek.
Ooh.
Selma Hayek plays a very wealthy woman. She, minor plot spoilers, pays Magic Mike to do one last dance, and then she takes him away from Miami, where he's living, to the city of Old London Town. She's like, pip pip, Magic Mike, we're going to ye olde London Town. How's your father? What? So Mike goes to London to help her put together a show, and this movie is terrible.
The irony of him going to London is that eroticism is outlawed.
Yeah, eroticism's outlawed in London.
Thanks,
if you
Boris.
If you do have any kind of sexual encounter with someone, you are required by law to apologize profusely and then never speak of it again.
Well, that's what
And-
sexy talk is out there.
That's what sexy talk is there. It's like
Yeah.
that Hugh Grant, like, I'm so sorry. I seem to have, your dick is, oh my,
Yeah.
oh dear, yeah, I'm terribly sorry. Yeah, goodbye.
Aw.
So, yeah, I liked the second movie a lot. It is a good movie. The first movie I didn't care for. but it was not as bad as this one. This movie was not only bad plot-wise, in that the plot barely made any sense, and whatever romance there was in it was completely forced and not earned at all. Never gave us any reason to care about the relationship between these two characters. But the most egregious part was that anytime they had a dance scene, they would cut away from it to either overly long reaction shots of people in the audience, or, my favorite, during the climactic dance scene, flashbacks to what had happened earlier in the movie. So you didn't even get to see an entire piece of choreography. And a lot of the choreography that they did have appeared to be from the Magic Mike stage show that's like in Las Vegas, which I recognized from watching the Magic Mike reality show, because the men on that show had to learn a whole bunch of these same moves. So, really bad. Do not recommend. Terribly disappointing. To top it off, I had horrible stomach issues that day. I had met my friends for brunch beforehand and was not able to eat, and in fact had to leave to go get some Pepto-Bismol from a nearby drugstore.
Your Valentine's breakfast was like romaine lettuce, oysters, sushi.
My Valentine's breakfast was nothing because I hadn't eaten before I left, and then when I got there, I was just like really feeling sick, and could not eat.
Poor
I finally ate it was really bad. I finally ate a little bit of popcorn at the movie theater, and I think I liked the salt quite a bit. I made it home, and perhaps recklessly, I took public transport to get home.
Wow.
But you
that
know,
could have gone
better to
bad.
be sick on a train than on someone's like private lift car, because on the train you don't have to pay a cleaning fee. That's a hot tip.
Wow.
But
Diarrhea in public.
I think she was saying throw
the
up. She wasn't talking about diarrhea.
you know what?
Well,
I'm not talking about either end, and I did not have
I was thinking about diarrhea.
I didn't have any escaped fluids on my outing. But later that night, I was standing in my kitchen, and fluids did escape.
You're like, whoa, no, here it comes.
I was like, oh, the low rumbling.
It's like a clump
We've all
Scooby
been
in
there.
This has
I
been
don't know what
Vanessa's
was wrong with
diarrhea
me.
update.
So Vanessa, what was
diarrhea.
the
But it's a diarrhea corner.
Diarrhea.
so what was the demographics of Magic Mike Last Dance on Valentine's Day like?
I didn't go on Valentine's Day.
I didn't go on Valentine's Day itself.
Okay.
We went a couple days before. I honestly could not tell you, Johnny, because by the time I got to the theater, I was just like, Lord, give me strength to hold myself together. And the theater seats where we were basically reclined like completely horizontally or very close to it.
Oh, I love that.
So I just like put my seat back and was lying there the whole time like, this movie is terrible. I want to go home. It was also really rainy that day, so I had walked around in the rain to like try to feel better, and then we had to walk from the restaurant to the movie theater, so we were like wet from the rain, had indigestion, terrible movie. Really, the lesson is never go out with your friends. The only legitimate relationships are romantic relationships.
It sounds like a great day a great time at the
It was
movies.
a great time at the movies. Good times were had by all. And
Wet from the rain, wet from the movie, wet from everything.
Wet from
wet
everything.
from the diarrhea.
I wish I had been wet from everything, but man, that movie was not good.
Oh
not
God,
Aw.
this is terrible.
And I do not recommend it. Magic Mike's Last Dance. No, thank you. Johnny, how did you level up?
Well, I decided. Well, I thought that you couldn't buy any more Dance Central DLC because like the servers were dead. and the store was dead. But if you go through the back end and open up the game on your 360, also, I guess this is hot gaming news. The Microsoft Xbox 360 store is closing soon. So I only had a few weeks left to do this. I purchased some Dance Central DLC. So I want to know, would you dance to this song or not? This is open to all three of you. Feel free to answer. Here are the songs that I purchased last night. I spent 18 US dollars on these songs, I think. Oh no, 18 Canadian dollars. So, number 1, Call Me Maybe. Would you dance to this song?
No.
Jim?
Yeah,
I think maybe I have. But,
Okay.
in 2012, when it came out and was like the hit song of the summer, I'm not
Yeah.
a lunatic.
What about Nasty by Janet Jackson?
No.
Absolutely, 100%. My name, baby, it's Janet. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Yeah, that's a good
Mr.
song.
Boys.
All right, Spice Up Your Life by the Spice Girls.
No.
No.
Yeah, because all the people of the world need to spice up their life. Obviously, I would dance to that.
You can moonwalk the salsa.
What?
Oh, something like that. What about Milkshake by Khalees? I spent 3 of my own dollars to purchase this. Let me remind you.
I think I
No.
would want to dance to that, but I don't think I could. I don't think I'm physically capable of dancing to that song.
It's weird. The
definitely
choreography has you like
danced to
holding
that
a
song.
picture. Like part of the choreography is like this. It's like I'm Little Teapot
Okay.
kind of thing.
Yeah, you're just doing I'm a Little Teapot.
Yeah. What about Hot in Here by Nelly?
It's getting hot
No.
in here.
I don't like that song. That song came out when I was in college, and I swear I couldn't like walk across the street without hearing it 6 times.
It's a really stupid song. I would prefer to dance to different songs. But look, Johnny, what you're learning about me is if I'm up in the club, as I am every night, almost every night, I'm going to dance to whatever's on. I ain't choosy.
Okay, 2 more songs. One, Gonna Make You Sweat by C plus C Music Factory.
No.
Vocals by Martha Wash. Come on.
What song is that?
No, wait, that's a different one. That's I Got the Power. I always mix those 2 up.
Yeah. Remember shortly before we started recording, I was telling you about the jazz dance class I took?
Sweat, let the music take control. Let your body move you.
Yeah.
It's Let the Rhythm
Let
Move
the
You.
rhythm
Thank
move you. Pump up the jam. Pump it up. No, that's a different song, right?
That is a different
Damn
song.
it.
Anyway, in that jazz dance class, we had to dance to pretty much exclusively CNC Music Factory songs. And I did not care for that class, and it made me a little bit bitter when it comes
Was that
to
the
dancing
Jock
to
Jams
those.
era?
I guess. I don't know what it was.
I also saw
Was
that.
I remember
dumb
being
song.
being a prepubescent boy and jock jams being a thing,
Oh, yeah.
and just going to town, jumping and slapping your hand on the tops of like doorways.
Was Rednecks a jock jam? Cotton Eye Joe?
Rednecks.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh no,
Okay.
that was not a jock. At least not.
That's
for
more
me.
of a Euro pop.
Yeah, that's a wedding. That's a white people wedding.
How dare you? I was like, oh, they have Paula Abdul's Straight Up. So I was like, I went to go buy that because, of course, I mean, would you all dance to Paula Abdul? They're all shaking their heads, yes. Matthew is
Yes.
so amazed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he loves that. Jim is
Straight up now, tell me, are you really gonna love me forever?
Sorry, Spotify.
I don't think that the way we sing is going to trigger any kind of Spotify alert.
But it turns out I'd already purchased this song 12 years ago, and I could just download it again. It just hadn't downloaded last time when I thought I'd downloaded all my old DLC to this new 360. So
Wow, what a
I got it
blessing.
for free. I got Paula Abdul straight up. Let me tell you, that is some good choreography. Some of these songs have shaky choreography. This one like has that thing where you twist your leg out, like a hip. What do you call that? The hip rotation kind of thing.
The hip flexor, yeah.
And it's got like you go like please, please, and she's going like that. Oh, it's so good. Okay, last thing of my level up. I know it's been really long. I was feeling antsy and wanted to do a little project on Sunday, so I went and finished up wiring surround sound with some Value Village speakers I found.
Nice.
Yeah.
To what?
What?
To your TV? To your laptop?
I have a receiver. Like my friend gave me a Yamaha receiver a couple of years ago that I hadn't really messed around with that much.
Yamaha.
It's a nice receiver.
Yamaha.
And it's do y'all play in surround
That's what
sound?
farmers call it.
It sounds really cool. Like especially like some games just don't give a crap and they haven't done anything, but like Breath of the Wild surround sound, you hear birds often all around you. And,
Oh, that's
little
neat.
Cheap little...
I have played it. I have a surround sound system on my television, and I have played Breath of the Wild with surround sound, and it does sound amazing. Like, it really adds a lot to that game. It makes you feel like you're in a... It adds depth. Not visual depth, but like...
sense of
I mean,
place.
auditory.
Yeah.
Auditory depth, but it adds like a layer of depth to the game itself because you feel like you're suddenly not sitting on your couch, but in a wide open field with...
Yeah. Yeah, it's really
it's amazing.
cool. Other games I'd recommend, all those Yakuza and the Fist of the North Star games they have really great audio design. And I was surprised, Octopath Traveler, which is on Game Pass, if y'all haven't played that, is the sound design in that is really good. Just super, super good sound design. And I haven't tried any of those Final Fantasies, but they'll be really good for that too. I mean, I have played them. Especially 6. I've finished 6. But I haven't tried them with surround sound. All right, Matthew.
You haven't finished anything.
Matthew.
What?
How did you level up?
I leveled up first, you son of a bitch.
God damn it. I'm trying to make sure you leveled up. Jim, how did you level up?
Speaking of dancing, I had my own little dance party last week. My girlfriend and I had a couple drinks, and I was like, you know what? I want to dance. And it was mostly just me wanting to make her listen to the safety dance and watch me dance to it, which I did.
I wish Dance Central.
times.
I wish Dance Central had the safety dance.
And the next day, I don't remember what happened. We were on our way to the movies, and maybe I dropped something, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." She's like, "Oh no, it's okay." She's like, "If you're gonna apologize for anything, maybe a couple of your dance moves last night." Okay, that's fair.
Jim, you
and
need
then,
to
I don't
find
know
a
if you guys
Kinect
remember, but
and a copy of Dance
know.
Central 1 through 3 and an Xbox 360, and then you can learn to dance and impress your girlfriend.
That's right.
Everybody look at your hands.
And then I don't know if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, I had thought that I had lost my wallet, like it was just gone forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so for 3 days I was afraid to leave my apartment. I was like, what if I get caught doing something? What if I go to drive somewhere and I don't have my wallet and then I get put in jail or whatever? So I was really afraid. And then I eventually found it in a pair of shorts, but I was like, maybe I should get a tile, one of those things that lets you can attach to your keys or put in your wallet or whatever, that you can download the app and press it and it'll beep. And I never got one, but I got one for Valentine's Day, and I was like, this is one of the most thoughtful Valentine's Day gifts I have. And now I can, if I lose my wallet, I just press a little button on my phone, and my wallet will beep.
Wow,
Aw,
Jim's level
that's
up
a
is
great
how
gift.
great it is to have a girlfriend. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah. Let me tell the story again about how I shit myself and watched a terrible movie.
Oh, man. All right, you guys ready to play some full page failure?
Turn up now, tell me how you really love.
I bet Matthew could do that hip rotation whoop, 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 move.
Yeah, I
Matt
kid.
is-
Clearly, everybody that looks at me knows that I'm in excellent physical condition and can do all sorts of moves.
Yeah. Matt's obviously the greatest dancer among us.
Matt is the greatest
he-
dancer. Come on.
Come on. You're not greatest dancer. But the tragedy is that he says he will never dance again. And he probably won't until
Yeah.
a rich woman pays him $6,000 to
Well,
do
his
one last
feet are
dance.
too guilty, and they don't have rhythm.
No, I know.
Why did they make 3 Magic Mike movies?
Because the last one was really good. Magic Mike
They make a lot
XXL
of
is an
money.
excellent movie. And I'm not just saying that. Believe me, I was as shocked as anyone that it was good. It's a good movie.
How many crinkled eggplants do you think they find behind in the theater?
Ew.
What, crinkled?
Gross.
Yeah, you know, like crinkly, like when your skin's been when you've been in the bath too long.
Oh, God. Oh, Matt. Ew.
This is fucking rocketing up the charts to be one of our grossest episodes.
This, yeah. I had a wholesome level up about dancing. Jim had a beautiful one about how happy he is to be in a relationship, unlike the rest of us losers. And you two are just gross.
It's not my fault. Everyone gets
I
sick
didn't-
sometimes.
You guys clearly had sad Valentine's days and are like, Jim got to go out with his girlfriend, but don't rope me in. I spent Valentine's Day with my kids. Okay? I bought them stuffed dinosaurs and chocolates, and it was nice.
I was just there
had
wiring my
chocolate.
surround sound, tears rolling down my face.
Shaking
so
your fist
happy.
at God because you're so jealous of Jim Banks.
I got a desk mat for Valentine's Day. I don't think it
like
was
a little
meant to be
mat
for
for your
Valentine's
desk?
Day. It just
it,
happened
like,
to come that day.
Vape?
Was it from?
Yeah, it did.
Vanessa, I have 2 questions for you
Yes.
about that. 1, did you buy it yourself? And 2, did it come from Amazon?
No and yes.
Okay.
Let's see what else. I got some cake. Also got a cake from my mom. So who's
Thanks,
the loser
Vanessa's mom.
now?
All right, let's play some Flow for Predator.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Jim, stupid game.
Yeah. Jim's stupid game. Before we start, let's do a quick recap of the current standings.
No, I don't want to.
After 4 whole games, Matt is in 3rd place with 20 points. Vanessa in 2nd place with 25 points.
Woohoo!
And John in 1st place with 100 points.
I think for
Now, this one-
for the bonus episode we do about it, Matthew and Vanessa should get ringers who like feed them the answers, like Julian and maybe Matthew from the Rebel FM podcast.
Maybe Brian Pitt.
Yeah.
Okay, so earlier today I told you guys the most recent like physical magazine that I have, physical retro game magazine that I have is from the year 2000, but Matt specifically requested one a little more recent, so I decided to go to, I think it's retrogamemags.com.
Yeah, if you could not use a magazine from before Vanessa and I were born, that would
Yeah.
be great.
So I decided to go to that website, and I dug into the March 2004 issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly. And that is where this week's games are sourced from. And a quick recap of the rules.
There are no rules. Jim makes them up as he goes along.
There are 3 basic guidelines. For the first round for each game, I will read the tagline of the game's advertisement from the issue, and if you make a correct guess based off of that first hint, you get 20 points. The second hint is copy from the ad. If you make a correct guess from that hint, you are to receive 10 points. And for hint number 3, which are just a couple assorted facts, that is worth 5 points. Are you guys ready? And
What
do you
about
understand
what
the
about
rules?
asking you for hints, additional hints?
TBD.
Okay.
That's not how fucking games work.
You know what? I'm not super
You got a chunky.
familiar with a lot of these games, so I probably won't have a lot of hints to give.
We could call
but
it a chunky.
We'll see. Yeah, that's a chunky.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to level up with the hottest news ever, which is that the new season of I Think You Should Leave is coming out in April.
And who brought you this news at great personal sacrifice to herself?
My
That's
cat.
right.
Vanity Fair?
Vanessa.
I told them, knowing
Twitter?
full well what it would set off and what I'd have to live through, but that's how good a friend I am.
Thank you, Vanessa.
You're welcome.
All right, are we ready to start?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Who's
All right,
going
first
first this
game?
time? Is it Matt and then me and then
Oh,
Johnny?
yeah, let's do
Reverse
let's
order
Yeah.
of points.
Yeah. Okay, so game number 1, hint 1. This is the tagline from the ad. It reads, "Around every corner, behind every door, deep in every shadow, terror awaits."
Do I ask my question now? Is it a horror game?
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty obvious.
I mean, there's so many options that it could be. So many horror games, so I don't know. I guess I'll just have to pass.
Okay, Vanessa.
John already fucking knows what it is. I can see on his
no,
face.
he doesn't.
I
Yeah,
will
he
ask
does.
my
Now he's
question.
lying.
Okay.
Is it part of a series?
Yes.
That was
All
the
right.
most unconvincing yes I've ever heard. Like he had.
I
he
was
pretended
debating
like
on
he had
whether
think
to
about it.
answer that or not, but I decided yes, I will answer it.
Nevertheless, I will pass.
2000.
So it's not Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis is a series.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
More than one of those things?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
There's like a dinosaurs in space one that I've never played.
You're thinking of Jason.
Dinos.
I'm gonna pass.
Or Hellraiser.
Space.
There's
Okay.
too many things.
All right.
Space.
All right, hint number 2. There's a lot of copy in this ad. I think this is all one sentence. No, wait, it's 2 sentences. It reads, and it's grammatically incorrect. Take on the role as one of 8 survivors of an outbreak caused by a secret biological weapon. Team up with other survivors, up to 4 in online mode, to create contagiously addictive play scenarios you'll want to try and relive again and again.
Ooh, that's a tricky one. It's Vanessa's go, right?
Oh, is it? I'm gonna... I guess I can have a question and then a guess. Does this game have a number in the title?
That is what my question was going to be too.
Me
It
too.
does not.
Oh, no!
What?
Then I don't know the answer. Oh, no. All right, I'll pass then.
John.
Resident Evil Outbreak.
That is correct.
Whoa.
John with 10 points
Vanessa,
on the board.
because I was going to maybe guess Outbreak 2, but Vanessa cleared it up for me. Thanks, Vanessa.
Well, you're welcome, pal.
All right, game number 2. The tagline reads, "Never underestimate the power of a carefully calculated ass kicking."
Ew. That tagline sucks.
The next
Games
one's
that
really
are
bad.
like, ugh, snap into a Slim Jim, ugh, radical. This gives up for grandma. Blah.
You don't know that. Grandma might like it.
It's the 2004s, or 2000s. It's not as bad as the 90s for advertising. I think the 90s is like the worst.
Late 90s were the worst, for sure. All right, who's first? Is it Matt?
It's me.
John.
Oh, it's John.
Is it a fighting game?
It is not.
Oh, okay. Pass.
Is it a first-person shooter?
It is not.
Pass.
Is it a game I have heard of?
I don't know.
Huh.
Does it star Laura Bow?
Pass.
All right. Hit number 2. Copy from the ad. It reads, "Be warned, this is not a mere battle of brawn. In this world, war must be waged with a wary hand. Journey from land to land, battle to battle, as you deftly command your army of demons, centaurs, and dragons."
Army of demons. This is Matthew, I guess, right?
Is it? Is it a Might and Magic game?
No.
Does this game have this?
Wait, isn't it Matt's turn to
Yeah.
guess? He's
Yeah,
gonna
don't I
guess.
get to
Sorry.
guess?
I just assumed he was going to pass.
Pass.
Does this game have the same title as a television show?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think so.
Pass.
Is this game English from England, do you think?
I do not know.
Okay.
I don't think so. Just based on, well, maybe.
I'll do a swing. Why not, right? Why not?
All right.
Overlord.
Incorrect. Not Overlord. All right, hit number 3. The genre of this game is strategy,
Like Overlord.
and the developer is a company called The Collective, and the publisher is LucasArts.
Huh. Well, there usually aren't centaurs in Star Wars.
Usually.
Were there centaurs in Willow?
Don't remember.
Not that I recall, but
Is that your question for Jim?
I'm done. I'm out.
Imagine the tagline for a Willow game being "Never underestimate the power of a carefully calculated ass
Oh, I
kick."
still have, what service has that Willow show? Is that out yet?
It's on
Yes.
Disney Plus, yeah.
I watched the first 2 episodes and I thought it was atrocious.
Oh no.
Is it written by George Lucas?
No.
Okay.
It's written by somebody. It's written by who wrote the Hunger Games? Whatever. It's written by the writer of the Hunger Games.
Billy Ray.
Writer.
All right.
Susan Collins.
It's Vanessa's guess, right?
Ah, okay. So it's a strategy game with some fantasy stuff, and it also kicks ass. Is this game part of a series?
I don't believe so.
Golly, golly, golly. I have no idea, but I suppose this is the last round, right?
Yeah,
Might as
no, you
well
got nothing to
take a
lose.
guess. Is it Age of Fantasy?
No. But way to string together some words that sound like a video
Wasn't
game
there, like,
title.
Age of Empires,
Age of Mythology.
Yeah.
That actually was what I was thinking about guessing. That's getting a remaster as well.
Matt, do you have a guess?
Age of Mythology?
Incorrect. The game is called Wrath Unleashed.
What?
What?
Never heard of it.
Unleashed.
What? Come
Made
on.
that up.
Unleashed.
Wow.
All right. Game 3. I'm
Well
going
done
to
if
say
you got
right
that at
now,
home.
this is a game
Is this
you
a
all have
PC
definitely heard
Is
of.
this a PC Gamer magazine?
No, this is EGM.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. So, a warning on this first one. This is a game that you all have definitely heard of and that we have not played but definitely talked about on the show. I will say up front, it has a very vague and shitty tagline. So,
Oh.
the tagline for this game is, "Who are you?" End of tagline.
But we haven't played it on the show.
We have not played it, but we have definitely talked about it.
It's my guess, right?
Yeah.
Pass.
Wow, not even a question.
Oh, I forgot I could have
Okay.
asked a question. It's fine.
Is this published by Blizzard?
It is not.
Who are you? Well, pass.
Is this a point-and-click adventure?
No.
Pass.
All right. The ad copy reads, embark on a journey of epic proportions to gather the precious mere droplets. Beware, countless challenges stand in the way of your caravan. Face them alone, or, for the first time ever, battle with friends by connecting up to 4 Game Boy Advance systems.
I think Vanessa's the starter on this one.
All right.
No, it'd be Matthew because I started last time. Right?
Yeah.
Oh. Is this a Final Fantasy game?
Yes.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
That is correct!
Oh, he did it!
Yay!
Matt's first 10-pointer. All right.
That puts him ahead of me, I think.
Now Matt loves the game.
Yeah.
He's shaking his head furiously. All right.
He's gone.
Game number 4. The tagline reads, the bars may keep you in, but they won't keep them out.
Am I starting this one?
Yeah.
It sounds like some kind of stupid prison game. Is it some kind of stupid prison game?
It is a stupid prison game.
Pass. I don't know it.
John.
Does it have ghosts in it?
Yes.
I'm gonna try. This is a swing. Geist.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
All right, I might know this one. I think the girl that I was dating and living with in 2004 played this.
You can ask a question if you don't want to take a big swing.
I mean, the question would be, is it a prison horror game? Not, there's... I can't think of a good question. Because you already told us it's a prison horror game. You said it's a horror game, right?
No, Vanessa asked if it was a stupid prison game, and I said yes.
Is it a horror game?
It is.
And it has ghosts.
I guess the real question that I want to ask is, was it on the GameCube?
Let me check.
I think 2 prison horror games.
It was not on the GameCube.
What's the tagline
At
again?
least not
Bars?
according to Wikipedia.
It'll keep you
it
in, but
was-
won't keep them out.
Yes, the bars may keep you in, but they won't keep them out.
I don't think that there was a game called Sanitarium, but that's like what's in my head.
There is a game called Sanitarium.
I think there's a PC game called Sanitarium, yeah.
And I remember my girlfriend back in the early 2000s played a game called The Suffering. But I think she played it on the GameCube.
Hold on. Let me just...
Okay, you know what? I'm just going to guess and say The Suffering.
That is correct.
Holy shit!
Matt, with a 10-pointer and now a 20-pointer.
Wow.
Oh, Lord. All right. Now it's time for the...
What, did it not come out on the GameCube? I don't think I had any other systems.
I don't see it. I don't see anything about it being on the GameCube.
What the hell did she play it on? Oh, no, we had an Xbox. didn't
Oh,
we?
I think it was on the GameCube, but I don't think it came out until later.
Never
We
even
had an
heard of
Xbox.
this game.
That's what she
Matthew.
played it on.
Oh, gotcha.
Were there 2 of these, or was it Sanitarium that there were 2 of?
No, there are 2 Suffering games, I believe.
I was thinking The Condemned, but that's a 2005 game, so that wouldn't have been out yet.
That's a great game. Condemned and Condemned 2 are both really good.
I've never heard of any of these except for Santa.
It doesn't look like there's a sequel.
All right, is this the final round? The Jim
Yeah, final round.
Jim pulls one random.
Yep. All right, so the tagline for this one is "Be a champion."
I'm sorry, John. What was the name of that other prison game that you mentioned?
Condemned Geist.
Condemned Criminal Origins?
Yeah, it's a first-person horror game.
Like a beat 'em up horror game where you pick up boards and like swing them at.
Yeah, and you beat up homeless people.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, okay.
You are like
That
a
game rocks.
homeless police officer.
Yeah, you're like a drunk detective guy, right?
Yeah.
I remember playing a bit of The Suffering and not liking it at all.
I played a lot of it, and I thought it was really hard.
I'm the best, and I love this game.
Oh, that's great.
See, Matt just got that 2000s era knowledge.
Whose go is
Thanks. Thanks, ex-girlfriend, for being obsessed with horror games.
Oh, yeah, who's leading this one?
I think me.
Yeah, I think it's John's turn. John, tagline, "Be a champion."
Okay, is this a fighting game?
No.
Okay, pass.
Matt,
Be a champion?
champion.
The greatest of them all, champion. You'll never be a superhero.
Is this an MMO?
No.
Okay.
It
Then
is
I'm
not.
going to pass.
Is this a top-down perspective game?
No. At least not based on the screenshots I'm looking at.
Then I will also pass.
Okay, one moment. I'm just gonna verify that I answered.
We need to announce the vote
Oh, okay.
at the end of the show.
Okay, yeah. I was correct. Okay. Hint number 2, the copy from the ad reads, "Slay your way through the glorious realms of EverQuest in a non-stop hack-and-slash adventure brimming with
Thought
heroic
it might be
quests,
this.
beautiful locales,
Yeah, me too.
enchanted
That's why I asked if it was
zones,
an MMO.
But that's
and
not an
dark,
MMO.
mysterious dungeons.
I know.
Yeah.
Create your champion from 5 mythic races and 5 classes, customizing the look and name that conveys your unique abilities."
It's my turn, right?
Yes. John went first last time, yeah.
Okay. Jim, what is the name of the world EverQuest is set in?
Mystique.
I don't know.
Can I tag in Molly? Champions
Yes, but then she'll get the points.
Corindia.
of... Champions
Riverdale.
of... Fuck off.
Mordor.
Albuquerque.
I don't remember the name of the world. What is it?
Belgium.
It's Cleveland.
Does it start with an N?
I'm not. Come on.
It-
Come on, Jim. No.
Okay. All right,
Come on,
all right.
It
Jim.
does. But I don't...
It's one of those tip of your tongue things.
I know, it's
It's my turn to
champions
guess.
of like
It's Vanessa's.
Nazaroth.
Well, he has to
No,
pass.
it's not.
He
It's
has
my
to
turn.
pass.
I'm
Guess
not
or
passing.
pass.
I'm guessing.
Guess or pass.
Guess.
Champions of Nazareth.
No. No, Jim. No.
Is that your guess?
Champions of...
Come on. He already guessed. He said Nazareth.
Are we playing like a word association
He
game?
said
It's
Nazareth.
my turn to guess.
It's Vanessa's
guess.
turn.
All right.
Is it Champions of Nevermore?
No.
No.
Yeah, I
Incorrect.
didn't know what it was called either.
Johnny
John?
knows.
Champions of Norath.
That is correct.
Fuck off.
10 points. All right. Are we calling this the final? Should we keep doing this through the Mass Effect series and then see where we're at then?
Aren't we doing a
Because we did
bonus?
say 5 rounds. That was the bonus.
I mean, aren't we doing
Oh, well.
a special?
Oh yeah, we're doing a whole bonus episode. Okay, so I guess if you want to see the conclusion of this.
What? No. The bonus episode needs to be its own thing. We're not going
Okay.
into the bonus episode with Johnny with a 100-point lead.
Okay, let's say that the finale of Mass Effect 3 is also going to be the season finale of Full Page Failure.
I want
you got
girl
that.
games next time.
A special edition bonus Patreon episode, Super Bowl of Full Frontal Failure, where we're going to have a buzzer, I think, is what we talked about.
I have a great
You and your
idea.
buzzer
Jim, I have a
obsession.
great
Oh,
idea
goodness.
for the bonus episode. Doing
is
a
it?
full page failure, but all that one issue of Maxim that was the girls of video gaming, and then described their like likes and dislikes of their.
Oh my gosh, I should find that. All right, so before we wrap, let me do a quick recap of the standings here.
The name of the last game has already fled my mind.
Norath, the champions
Champions of Norath.
I thought that
All right,
was an
so
MMO.
Vanessa.
I forgot that was a
Vanessa is now in third place with 25 points, averaging 5 points per game.
not bad.
I demand girl games. I only played girl games when I was a little girl, and I want girl games.
Matt is now in second place with 50 points. What a rally in Game 5. And John, still with a pretty good lead with 120 points. John only put up 20 points on the board this game. So I think we found Johnny's weak spot.
2000s.
And it's games from the 2000s.
Yep.
So,
I was really busy.
so we'll see. We'll see what happens next game. Have not picked the next issue, but we'll see what happens. All right, now I think we're ready for the Codex.
Do we have to?
Hi,
Codex.
everybody,
Beep, boop, beep,
and
boop,
welcome to the Codex.
Doot, doot, doot.
Let's join Commander Shepard and friends in outer space. You may
Yay!
recall, we ended our adventure last time on the Citadel, having saved the Council from a Cerberus takeover, and potentially recruited our old pal Caden Ashley back on board the ship. Can I just check in? I wasn't clear from last time. How many of us now have Caden Ashley on board, and how many of us do not? Jim,
I do. Oops, sorry.
Matt,
I do.
and is it Caden or Ashley?
I have Caden.
All right. Matt,
I have Caden as well.
Johnny,
I have Ashley, and I got a cutscene where she fell asleep on a hot dog. Pretty much.
Excuse me?
Well, I guess we should talk about that in the side missions, but it's pretty fun.
yeah. Well, excellent. It's nice to have fun with old friends. But speaking of old friends, one of ours is on board the Citadel, or should I say an old frenemy. It's Arya Taloke. Do y'all remember Arya Taloke from Mass Effect 2?
Of course.
Yeah, in fact, when this started, I was like, I guess Arya's dead, but then she's not.
In preparation for this, I bought a graphic novel hardcover omnibus. I forget no, soft cover. What do you trade paperback one of Arya's Adventures? That was like a limited comic series. It was terrible, and it's too bad because I really like Arya as a character. It's about her, like how she gets off of the Omega when it gets invaded. I believe that was the plot.
Oh, interesting. Well, that really sets up what's going on here because Arya asks to meet with us privately. So we go to the meeting location where we are picked up by her flying around in a car, as they're called in the future. And she tells us that Cerberus has taken over Omega, but she has a plan to get it back, and she wants Shepard's help. If Shepard agrees to help her, then she will lend all of Omega's resources to the war against the Reapers. But there's a twist. Arya likes Shepard, or at least tolerates Shepard, but does not want any of Shepard's dumb friends coming on the mission.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of Arya. I was thinking of Tali. Sorry.
Arya
Oh.
is a what do you call it? A bluebell.
Sorry.
Yeah.
An Asari, who used to run Omega. She's a rude dude with an attitude.
Did you get the
She's
cutscene?
She's a real boss bitch.
She's a boss bitch.
But she's almost got like a violet skin tone too. I like her skin tone a lot.
She's violet and violent. It's Arya.
Whoa. It is not cool to call violet-skinned Asari violent. That's a generalization, and I won't have it on
I
this
mean- faux pas.
podcast.
Johnny, I am clearly talking about
Once
this
again,
specific
Vanessa's trying to get
Asari.
herself canceled.
Oh, Vanessa, you didn't even talk level up about your new friend.
That's right. My brand new
Oh,
friend.
Vanessa has joined the ranks of Twitter's alt-right comedians.
Yep. Last time we discussed the article that these gentlemen stated that I had written about a woman leaving comedy after being unable to find a burly man husband on the comedy
With
circuit
balls.
with balls, and she was upset.
Well, everybody knows comedians are all a bunch of beta cucks.
Yep, she was upset that they were all beta cucks. She says in her article that she only ever got laid by one comedian, and now he wears a dress, and she's super upset by it. And also, she's tired of not being able to be transphobic on stage and have
And
that
now
be
she's
well-received.
friends with Vanessa.
Yeah, she's my best friend now. Someone I follow had retweeted her article with a comment essentially saying, like, I can't believe this woman was trying to find a man's man on the comedy circuit. This person is a comedian and was like, have they met us? We are horrible. Horrible little man babies. To which I replied, some of us like a man who mollycoddles us and cries at night. The author of the article then found this comment, I know not how, I assume by reading all of the comments on every single retweet of her article. And she liked my comments. So
Wow.
I got my sign off of approval from this lady who I assume thought that I was being ironic and supporting her argument. Whereas I, in fact, do love a soy boy, beta boy, much more than I love a jock.
When Vanessa first told us about this, I was like, I'm concerned a little bit because Vanessa tweets from the podcast Twitter account. But now, maybe we'll find a new audience.
Yeah. I think that, a lot of gamers are tired of the wokerazzi telling them what they can or can't play. And also, people are inserting themselves into video games and ruining everything because one time I played a game and it had a lady in it, and
Well, think about this Omega DLC. Downloadable
Yeah.
lesbian content.
oh, I know, it's like, it's awful, and it's like, oh yeah, we're supposed to be so woke by hanging out with this lesbian.
Oh, Jabba the Hutt is now a hot lady, and she's tougher than Jabba the Hutt, and she's a lesbian, and she also can kick anyone's ass because she's like the most powerful biotic. She's like a Han Solo and a Ben Kenobi all rolled into one.
yeah, and
What's
it's like,
weird about that is when did straight men stop wanting to see sexy lesbians in media?
That's a good
you
question.
think they would like that? Why don't they like that anymore?
I think it's when there started being actual lesbians in media and not
Oh, you mean not just
bisexual
overly
girls
sex?
who would have an orgy with
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or as they put it in Goldfinger, a confused girl. One of those confused girls.
Before, when they had lesbians in media, Ben Affleck could always convert them to being straight.
That's true.
Yeah.
and well, maybe BimJanks has some Ben Affleck power. We'll find out. in this chunker. Yeah, so this is DLC for downloadable lesbian content, and Arya is she's like, okay, we talked about it. I want to retake Omega, and I believe I played this before, but I like blanked on everything. I don't remember this DLC at all. Has anyone played this before?
I have.
Don't think so.
But this is like
I had a weird memory of like maybe I had started it, but I was under leveled without my squad, and so then I went back to an old save and never actually did it. But I'm not sure.
Matthew. It's taking a sip. 1 second.
Previously stated, I've never played this game.
Oh, right. That's right. Sorry, I forgot.
But maybe you only played the DLC, you know?
I didn't realize I was getting into DLC at the time. Like, Arya's like, come on a mission with me. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. This will be 5 minutes. 6 hours later.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't tell you, like, the warning. This is going to be, like, a whole thing before you start this. You like,
yeah, and you
go
will
to Dock
not
42.
be able to leave the area.
Yeah. We get introduced to Bray, who I was sure was going to show up as a playable character. But I do think for DLC, this is some meaty DLC. Like, this is the kind of DLC we like to see. It's like a whole planet from Mass Effect 1 or 2. They don't, you know how this game doesn't really have those big open world planets like Mass Effect 1 and 2 did? It's sort of, everything's very divided. This feels like old school Mass Effect. This feels like one of the first two. I really like the scope of this, and I think it's a pretty great. I mean, it is reusing assets. Like, these are all locations, almost except for the mines. These are all locations that you visited before in Mass Effect 2. But I think it's good.
Point of order. Point of order.
Yeah.
Omega is not a planet. It is an asteroid.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's also a very prominent EZO mining facility, which is why it's so important to the war effort.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great information, Jim. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm really impressed with that lore drop.
It's true.
Oh, well, thank you.
So
I know that because they tell you.
So her plan is she's assembled a whole bunch of like mercenary ships, although a lot of them are like retrofitted civilian ships. They aren't super great, but that's all that they could use. And she's basically hired an entire army to go and retake Omega, which seems like a very fortified location.
Yeah, and apparently Cerberus has installed like this military genius general, which is like he's so strategically brilliant. That's why he was able to take Omega in the first place. And really, because he's fortified Omega's defenses so well since he took it over, the only way she can really get in there and break through is to use all of these retrofitted civilian ships as like a giant hammer to break through the line. So she's willing to sacrifice really all of these ships in order for her to get through this defensive line and into the station.
It did make me think, how much is she paying these people? Because I would not agree to this plan as one of her like hired ships, her Ubers. I'd be like, I'm not taking this one.
Yeah, but the Mass Effect world, you know, it's interesting. It's kind of a mix of Star Trek optimism in how it looks and it's glossy, but it has plenty of slums and really desperate people who are just trying to eat. So maybe they figure it was better than nothing. Maybe she paid them ahead of time so their families can have a little money. We don't know.
Or if you do this and live, you're going to be super rich.
Yeah.
I never really understood why I was helping Arya with this. Like, she seems like an asshole, and particularly
you want that sweet Ezo, boy.
And particularly when her friend, what's her face, Nyreen shows up.
Yeah.
I was very much like, shouldn't I just maybe put a bullet in Arya at this point and side with Nyreen?
You wouldn't want to cross Arya.
Yeah, she says that all the time.
I like her little Batarian sidekick guy. What's his name?
Bray.
Like Boat or something?
Bray.
Bray.
Bray. Boat.
Bray, who's kind of the first Batarian we've had any kind of character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that doesn't want to kill you.
They're usually just like, me eat you.
Well, that's more the Vorcha. The Vorcha
you're
are
right.
even worse. In terms of poorly developed Mass Effect aliens. But yeah, it's nice to have he's got a sense of humor. He's an interesting character. I like Bray a lot.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah. So her plan is to ram the ship into Omega, but unfortunately, General Petrosky's like, I'm afraid we've got a fully operational defense system. And it's like fully operational and starts like blooting her zoots, and it's just not working.
This guy is such a, to me, a sad attempt to, knock off Thrawn from Star Wars. Like, oh, yeah, this guy plays chess and shit. He's so smart.
Well, and it seems like they set him up as he's not that bad of a Cerberus guy. Like, he's disagreed with the elusive man's policies and he's more of an honorable person. But then you find out he's really not. Like, what was the point of that? He seems like a real bad person once you find out what he's doing on here.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
game really wants you to shoot him at the end.
I mean, again, this is a game that was made before Nazis were really becoming a problem again, I think. So, in retrospect, all of this is kind of nasty of maybe you should just work with the Nazis, that today in 2023 really leaves a bad taste in your mouth, whereas in 2001 or whenever this game came out, I don't know.
2012?
I'm just saying, it was a different time.
Can you not see we're not so bad?
Just want human supremacy.
So you crash. So he doesn't actually get to ram the ship into Omega. The ship is starting to get torn apart, so you all have to get into escape pods, and you pod, and your pod crashes right into the station. Other pods were not so lucky and were destroyed in flight or killed as soon as they landed. But enough of them, she now has a presence on the station. There's 40 something of her friends. And you find out right away that Cerberus has enacted martial law on Omega, but there's already graffiti from the Red Talons, which was one of the gangs back on Omega. She's like, that was one of the sucky gangs.
Yeah. She's like, these guys suck. They used to graffiti my property too, but maybe this is an indication of some kind of resistance.
Mm-hmm. And Cerberus is trying to rout us as soon as they find out she's on the station. And you see right away that because they're trying to drive you into these red shields, and there's a little cutscene of what happens with these red shields when a Batarian tries to run through it. Don't run through those shields.
No, those is a death shield. What death you right away. But fortunately, Arya knows Omega like nobody else. Because as Arya will tell you, I am Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can Omega like me, because I'm the most Omega.
Mm-hmm.
And she has some secret tunnels running around through the city.
And she's a full-fledged companion character. They've given her own. She's basically got her own class with unique abilities.
Give her her own loadout. Yeah,
She
cool.
throws psi grenades, and they are biotic grenades, and they are fucking awesome.
And she's
They're
got something
awesome.
called Reeve that wrecks, does a cloud of biotic death, and she's really I do like that they make her really powerful. She's a
Those biotic grenades explode. You can see them across the fucking battlefield. They're pretty fucking cool.
And I like that. They really put a lot of work into this DLC. Vanessa, this also reminded me a bit of the stations and stuff in KOTOR. I got a real KOTOR vibe from this.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Just the way the missions are laid out and stuff. It is a bit more linear than maybe Mass Effect usually is, but this Mass Effect's pretty linear anyways.
Mm-hmm. So down into the tunnel we go, and there we meet a mysterious hooded figure who doesn't say mysterious for very long, She decloaks, and it's a Turian named Nyreen. That's right. It's a lady Turian.
Ooh. Before Andromeda, I forgot there was not playable, but a party member, Lady Turian. You hadn't really seen a Lady Turian before this, right?
I don't recall if we have or not.
There's one in the Citadel DLC, but not before that, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think that there is.
She's kind of red-colored, too, which Garrus is kind of blue-colored.
Mm-hmm. But she's also got, like, face paint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it paint? I thought it was just, like, markings.
I think they paint themselves, but I'm not sure.
I think we talked before in the previous Mass Effect series that we did about how it's weird that we only see the dudes. That I think of all the species that have gender binary, we only see the dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't know if Volus or Elcor have lady Voluses. And
I mean,
Elcor.
We have the lady, like Arya. Are there...
The Krogan. We see Quarian men and women in 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. But the Krogan, I think you only see your first lady Krogans in the end of Mass Effect 2, right? With the mission where you're protecting the lady Krogans? Or trying to save them?
Yeah. And I don't know if we even really see them in that. I think we just hear of them.
And
maybe we find a dead one.
Say what the gender binary looks like in Elcor. Maybe we've met plenty of Lady Elcors. And
yeah. I would assume that a Lady Elcor would sound exactly like a male Elcor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Femininely. Hey there, big boy. My name is Missy.
So I got the sense right away that those two are former partners. Like they're sort of the way that they talk.
I think it's pretty overt that they're a former couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Arya's like, "What are you still doing what are you doing back on the station?" And then she says, "I actually never left. I just wanted you to think I left." And she's like, "Ugh."
And later on they straight up say it like it's your girlfriend. So
yeah. Well, Arya also makes it clear when you're going into the tunnels, like very, very few people know about this. Only the people I trust the most in the world.
And then there's like dozens of people there because you can't trust Nyreen. She went and yacked about it to everyone, and now suddenly a whole community's living in these tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Nyreen.
Stupid Nyreen.
So Arya has a special bunker that she's going to. So she's like, okay, let's go to our special bunker. And then like you see Shepard looks up and there's a camera like recording her saying, let's go to our special bunker. And Shepard's like, he shoots it.
Yeah,
well,
I
shooting it is the renegade option.
Even though it was renegade.
I don't know why it was renegade. Why would shooting... I did too. Why would shooting a camera be renegade?
Because you don't own that camera. You just destroyed someone else's property.
I can never remember which one's the good trigger and which one's the bad trigger.
Remember R for renegade, John.
Oh, and L for light.
Flashes on the side of the screen that you have to pull the trigger on.
Yeah, but I don't know what those icons mean. They look the same.
One's blue and one's red.
They are the same, except for their color.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I pulled that trigger and shot the camera. So yeah, she revealed where her secret base is, right in front of the camera. And she's supposed to be good at this.
Nope, she's terrible at it, and no matter how often she talks about how amazing she is, she sucks. So we head towards the bunker. We have to fight a whole bunch of Cerberus people because now they know where we're going.
And robots. New robots with emoji faces.
Mm-hmm. And the robots can run through the shields. So we get a lot of enemy waves of robots.
Mm-hmm.
But we win.
Yay!
Head into the bunker. Naveen goes to talk to the quartermaster. And Arya's like, look around and see if you can help out the bunker in any way. And there are a few people who will give you some side quests.
I don't
to
think
do
I
while
found
you're
all
on
the
Omega?
terminal. So there's one where you're supposed to like help this hacker lady find terminals to give her more control over the station. I only found 2. I feel like I didn't finish that quest.
I didn't finish any of these side quests. Matt?
I did the finding the couch, and I did the hacker one, hacker consoles, and there's I did the finding the machinery to help fix the thing the Batarian guy's working on.
I really wanted to find that couch. I was really disappointed that I didn't.
It's a nice little. You get a nice little when you find the couch. So can I go ahead and explain the couch side quest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you guys remember the Elcor from Mass Effect 2 on Omega, who you have to confront for not letting another vendor set up shop on Omega? Mm-hmm. And the Renegade option for clearing that is to threaten to break the Elcor's legs. And he's like a criminal Elcor. Like in Mass Effect 2, he has a cigar in his mouth. But he doesn't have a cigar in 3, but when you find him, he wants to get on Arya's good side. So he's like, if you can help me, I want to kind of endear myself to Arya, and I would like to find her couch that was lost when Cerberus took over. So as you're making your way through the station, there's an area where you have to extend a dam over this like little river and walk across it. When you extend the dam, it dries up part of that little stream, and you can take a ladder down, and that's where the couch is. And when you go find the couch and mark its location, Arya's like, "Is that my couch?" And then the Elcor is very happy.
Yay!
Yeah.
But wouldn't Arya be aware that, like, you found the couch? Why
Yeah.
would you
Yeah, I don't
credit the Elcor with that?
Yeah. You didn't bring it. You didn't like pick it up and drag it all the way back to Afterlife.
Oh, yeah, I guess the Elcor does it.
Yeah. How do Elcors move anything?
I
don't know.
With their mouths?
They're little
They
Cthulhu?
push it with their head.
They're little Cthulhu tentacles?
I liked reading the codex entry. No, maybe it's part of what do you call them? The war points? What are they called?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The war score.
Yeah. Yeah, when you read the war score about recruiting the Elcors to help you when you find their flotilla, it says that they're really bad at fighting, but they can carry really big guns on their back, and other people can operate them.
Yeah,
So
I saw that
I thought
too.
that was cool. Yeah.
Like a sentient war elephant.
Yeah.
I would very much like to know how the Elcor pilot starships.
They're with their little
Me too.
bubbles. Their little mandibles.
Yeah.
Telekinesis?
Maybe.
Telekinetically. Yeah, so at the base, Arya decides that she would like to get the Red Talons on her side. She looks around for Nyreen, but Nyreen has slipped out the back door when nobody was looking. And Arya's like, ugh, typical Nyreen. Nyreen sucks. I hate Nyreen. But we, Arya and Shepard, head out to the Talon territory. And as you're doing this quest, you can find some Talons who are injured. If you help them, you get, I don't know, Talon points. I don't really
Good
know
old
what it
TP.
does for you if you help them.
I don't think it does anything.
You can
Yeah.
still help them just for being cool.
Yeah,
Maybe you
can
get
help
like
them for
plus
being cool.
reputation or whatever.
Yeah, maybe some XPs.
Yeah. Maybe some XPs, maybe some Paragon points.
Yeah.
So again, it's just kind of like Cerberus enemy waves, fighting our way through Omega, and we eventually come across a room where a Red Talon member is being interrogated by Cerberus troops, and it looks like they're going to be shot. Then we get a camera perspective to some catwalks. We see the gleam of the tip of a sniper rifle, and the Cerberus troops are shot instead. And enter Nyreen. She's back. What was the point of having
Yay.
her go? Just to come right back?
Who knows?
It's for this reveal. There's a reveal.
Yep, there's a reveal. After Nyreen appears, the Tele members go, "Oh, hey, boss. What's up? It's Nyreen, boss of us, the Red Talons." And Arya is shocked. Shepard, I guess, is shocked. Everybody...
Shepard's just along for the ride.
Shepard's just along for the ride. Shepard probably doesn't care. And Nyreen says, yeah, I'm the leader now because I had to help Omega. Arya ran away. I stayed here to help. Arya sucks and I rule.
All right. And she does. Yeah, she's like, so I sort of remade them from just a bunch of petty thieves into a organized political and military force. And they're like, yeah, we love Nyreen. Nyreen is cool. And she joins us again. And then we have to repel some attackers. There's a fun scene with, like, the biotic. Was it General Petrovsky has segregated aliens and sort of made aliens unable to get out of specific zones. So that's why so many of them have escaped to these hidden passageways and joined the gang. And
Yep.
the Asari are like holding the, like keeping the Talons safe with their biotic fields as the robots start attacking.
We are sent to the shuttle landing area, I guess. While the other people at the Red Talon base repel the invaders. And then we're called back. You know, we get the kind of typical video game message of like, help, we're being overrun. Go back, do a little bit more fighting, but the day is saved. And then Vetra gives a little bit more of a speech about how she rules and Arya sucks. And then Arya's like, oh yeah? Well, check this out. And
Vetra is from Andromeda.
I'm sorry, you're right. Vetra's from
Nyreen.
Andromeda.
Yeah.
Nyreen gives her little speech, and then, sorry, but Alturians look alike to me, so that's why I...
Wow.
So,
That joke has been approved by Vanessa's new friend, lady comedian.
So Arya's like, oh, well, I can give a speech too. Check this out. And she essentially gives a speech that's designed to get the citizens of Omega to riot and clash with the Cerberus troops. And Nyreen's like, why did you... Actually, Nyreen says to Shepard, like, I know what she's doing. She wants, all these civilians to cause a whole bunch of chaos. Well, she retakes Omega, but it's just going to get innocent people killed. So Nyreen reluctantly agrees to lend the Talon's strength to Arya's efforts just to prevent a whole bunch of civilian casualties.
I mean, Arya also talks about this and is like, she's so easily manipulated. And again, I was like, why am I fucking helping this person? She sucks.
Yeah, Arya starts to talk about how Nyreen sucks. She was always like super mean to Nyreen to try to toughen her up and make her stronger for the world. So it's not really abuse because she was doing it for her own good.
And there's a whole thing, like she sort of mentions that she saw a bunch of people get killed by these adjutants, and she's real freaked out by it. And Arya's like, oh, you're dumb for being traumatized by watching your friends get ripped apart. Dumb.
Yeah, she's like, ooh, I'm an Nyreen and I'm afraid of adjutant monsters. Blah, blah, blah. Arya's the worst.
Yeah, so you head back to Arya's bunker, and you're like, okay, we got a plan. We're going to take down these deadly shields. It's the only way that we can retake Omega, because it'll allow the civilians to help in the fight, and also let us move towards the downtown Omega. To do that, you have to go through the power source, which is deep in Omega's mines. And Jim, did you like how this suddenly turns into Dead Space?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought the adjutants looked really cool too. When I first played through this, I was playing on easy, and I thought these things were kind of difficult. I'm playing on normal difficulty this playthrough, and thought they were real pushovers.
Well, I think you're even with my super gun there, my super very special gun. It's still, those things are a little annoying. They take a couple of shots, and when you get faced with a lot of them at once, it can get real rough because they have biotic bolts they can shoot, and they do, if they get near you, they can kill you very, very fast. I'm playing on hardcore, I think. Whatever
they're like
is.
brutes, and that if you get very close, it can melee you and essentially take almost all of your health away.
Yeah, we'll talk about that final battle where it gets.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
I hated that final battle. But yeah, I like that it sort of changes tone and makes it more survival horror for a little bit. You're going through with a flashlight and you're hearing spooky sounds, and a lot of what is that, and finding bodies of. It's actually Cerberus troops that were locked in there with this monster getting ripped apart.
Yeah, you see that happen a couple times in this area. Like when you first enter this area where you first run into the adjutants, there are dead Cerberus everywhere, and it's posited that in order to prevent these things from escaping, because they can turn other people into adjutants, that Cerberus locked these troops in there to prevent them from escaping.
You also find, it's somewhere in the mines, right, where you find the testing grounds where they made these things using Reaper technology.
Yeah, that's the next area. Because you move through this corridor and there's a glass pane, and through the glass pane you can see Cerberus troops running away from the adjutants.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
And then you go through a place, and you understand that Cerberus had been experimenting on them and creating them.
From 2004 through, I'd say 2015, games leaned on watching people get killed on the other side of bulletproof glass.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
What did that start with? Half-Life?
Yeah, I feel like Half-Life 2
is the first thing that comes to mind.
That definitely did that. I mean, Half-Life 1
BioShock
even.
for sure.
Yeah, BioShock did a lot of that.
Dead Space did that too, the first one.
Singularity.
When you first see yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dead Space does that 50 times.
Oh, it does it a lot, yeah.
Anyway, so you finally fight your first couple of adjutants, and I really like the lighting. I think it's improved a lot in this remaster. The flashlight looks really good. That's some of the best looking flashlights I've seen. Some good looking flashlights.
Yeah, it's good. It was spooky. And we sort of go through and have to fight these things while we're restoring power to a lift. We take the lift. In the next section, there's a lot of Cerberus troops that we have to fight. And eventually we make our way to the reactor. Did we talk about the reason we're in the mines?
Yes.
Yeah, to turn off the shields.
Yes, correct. So we make it to the reactor and are about to shut it down when we get a message from the general. And he's like, "Where, where? Looks like you have fallen into my trap. Where? And he puts up a shield around the whole reactor. So we're just kind of stuck in there.
I wish Dancing
and this
Mad
causes-
played.
Yeah. Arya totally loses it, and she's like, "Heck no. I'm not dying down in this stupid reactor, surrounded by this stupid shield." And she uses her biotics to basically open a little Shepard-sized hole in the shield so Shepard can run through to the other side.
Is Arya Germly Bazap, like in the monastery mission? Is she one of them? She's so
I
powerful.
don't think so. She is
Okay.
powerful.
I like to think she has just a lot of... Well, one, she's an Asari, and they're, naturally gifted with biotics anyway.
Right.
And two, I like to think she has a ton of, black market super tech biotics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But she's not one of... Because you know how Asari have the more...
Oh, you mean the
vampire Asari.
The succubus ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, she doesn't
I don't
sex
think
people
so
for
because in
death.
2 Samara sees Arya, and I
Yeah.
think Samara would know, maybe?
Right. Yeah.
And those succubus ones, they have their need to feed. Well, it says this in 3 is compulsive. And so she would be murdering people left and right. It says that they have body counts like in the hundreds or thousands.
Right.
Eventually, if they're not like killed or put in a monastery.
Yeah. All right, so
I know a lot of Mass Effect lore.
So
All
she
right.
makes she
Ew.
rips open a hole. Shepard dives through it, and then you gotta like shut down these generators or something. You gotta turn off all these power sources while getting Cerberus troops thrown at you.
Yeah, I don't. The one thing I don't like about this DLC is that essentially it makes you do this same kind of thing twice.
Yes.
You have to do this to do the shield thing, right? And then you have to do it again in the final battle, which is run around, disable these consoles. And
This
then,
one's
yeah.
this one's doable. It's not too bad. That last one on hardcore was eesh. Yeah, so you okay, sorry. Aria's and Shepard reaches the console to shut down the shields. There's a choice. You can shut down the shields right away, which could impact life support or reroute the power from all those shields in different sector, so that you don't cut off life support to a bunch of people. Even though BimJanks is evil, I don't like being that evil. I wimped out and did the nice guy thing here.
Yeah, it's great because basically you're standing next to the shutdown. You're fiddling with the power, and Arya's calling you on the radio, and she's like, you have to shut it down right now. And Shepard kind of looks over, and there's a big red button, and you have a prompt where you can like do the renegade thing and push the button. And if you don't, it happens like 4 more times where Arya's like, stop dicking around, push the button. And the prompt comes, and Shepard like looks at the red button, his hand hovers over it.
They really want you to push the button.
They really want you to push that red button. I wonder if anything significant happens if you do.
I don't know. I feel bad that I didn't do this. I guess I should have.
Yeah,
We'll
when I was
talk
doing the
about that.
notes, it sort of, I felt like it indicated that Arya could maybe die if you push the red button.
Really?
No way.
No.
I don't believe that. Mass Effect 3, Omega, push.
So you and Nyrene's
Red
like, no,
button.
you can just reroute it safely. It'll just take like 10 extra seconds. Come on, don't be an idiot. And Nyrene is right. It doesn't take very long. Everything's fine. There's literally no reason to sacrifice all those people. And Nyrene now is real mad. She's like, this guy thinks he got me. He's embarrassed me. I'm going to kill the F out. She swears. Does anyone else say F in Mass Effect, or is it just Arya? Is she the only one allowed?
I think she's the only one because it wouldn't have stood out as much if she wasn't.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, so she's dropping F-bombs everywhere, and she's like, oh, let's go. But
Breaking news. If you push the red button, it will cue a cutscene where the force fields are taken down and thousands of citizens die.
Okay.
But there's a third option. If you're playing as an engineer, you have a quick Paragon option.
Yeah, that's what I did. Because I was like, I don't remember this hand over the button stuff. It just took a couple of seconds to fix.
Yeah, if you're an engineer, you can do it kind of right away. Reroute the power and save everyone.
Yeah, because he says, like, I know what I'm doing. Okay, that makes sense. That's cool. I didn't realize that was a special thing due to my class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish there were more things like that, like
Me
class-specific
too.
things.
Or, like, background-specific things. You know, there was a couple of them in Mass Effect 1, but it doesn't really come up after that.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah.
So we're out of the mines. Power is rerouted. I can say the whole word. And we're ready for our final attack. But there's a twist. Cerberus has put some bombs around some of the structural supports of Omega and are planning to blow it up and collapse part of the city.
Classic, if I can't have it, no one can.
So Nyreen is going to take her troops and start the assault, while Arya and Shepard go and disarm these bombs. So yet again, we have a run around and do things thing.
Well, yeah, so there's 3 of these. Like, yeah. 3 of these run around.
Interstitial moments.
Well, no, like 3 of these fight waves of enemies while finding all the things you have to turn off fights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This isn't as annoying as the last one.
This game relies so heavily on waves of enemies. I don't remember the other Mass Effect games being like
They
this.
don't. Not like this. That was the bad part of this game, I think. I mean, it was rushed. It just felt annoying. Okay, so we shut down the bombs and then start going through where we want to join up with Nyreen through the Gozu district, which I think this seems familiar. I feel like this is something we explored in Mass Effect 2. Oh yeah, because it had that
I
mad
think it's
preacher
kind of the
guy.
shopping district.
Because
Sorry?
you see the preacher guy, and I feel like he was in Mass Effect 2, but you've played Mass Effect 2 more recently than I have.
He was in Mass Effect 2, yeah.
And he's back here preaching again that the end of the world's really here this time.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun
He's
callback.
not wrong, but he also says it's because of humans. He's anti-human.
Right. But I thought this was a fun callback. And yeah, you know, like I don't mind a game reusing locations like this. I think this is a very smart way to reuse a location because it feels very different
I agree.
than Mass Effect 2. And it feels like cool to go back to a place you've been to before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the world has the same places in it from day to day. So I don't mind, like you say, a sequel having the same places in them. I think it could be kind of fun.
Well, it's like how Matt and I both really liked doing the balcony stuff, fighting Kai Lang, because it was this location you've seen in all the games before, but now you're like jumping over them and it's really neat.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a new perspective on a familiar location.
Yeah. All right.
It would be cool to have like a game set in contemporary times, and it's a trilogy, and maybe your character lives above like a coffee shop or something, but in each game it's a different business because that's how life works. So
Like
like in
Bob's
game
Burgers?
1 it's a coffee shop, and then it's some
Like
kind
the
of
intro
Chinese
Bob's
restaurant.
Burgers.
Yeah. And then in the third one it's a bookstore / cafe. I would love that. Game developers, you
Flash.
can have that idea for free.
What's
Well,
Flash
there
doing
was
in
a
there?
thing in Night Court as well where the
looking at
restaurant kept changing. It was always the same owner, but it kept changing what kind of restaurant it was. Do you remember that?
On
I've
what?
never watched Night Court, and you always accuse me of
Night
watching
Court.
it.
Because Harry does close-up magic, and I figured he's an early crush of yours. He seems like a Vanessa crush.
I loved Night
I'm
Court,
sure he would be if I got into it, but I've never done it.
but I'm not
It's-
watching that new one.
I haven't seen it.
No thanks.
All right. So, outside, we finally get to out towards Afterlife and reunite. Well, so we do kind of reunite with Nyreen, because outside of Afterlife, some civilians are being boxed in by Cerberus troops, and they're like, oh, now we know how to control the adjutants and can like set it so they don't attack our guys and only attack the bad guys, or whoever they want. And so all these people are going to get killed by the adjutants, but Nyreen saves the day. She runs over to the Cerberus troops and the adjutants and like lures them all together into a biotic field, and she contains the blast of killing herself and all the monsters right in front of Arya.
Yeah, she detonates like a whole thing of grenades.
Yeah. It was very sad. I wanted lesbians to be happy. Why do they have to die?
I
Now
wanted to give
our-
Omega to Nyreen.
Yeah, I honestly
Yeah.
thought that's where this DLC was going. It's like,
Yeah.
Me too.
yeah.
But now Arya's real pissed off.
And I gotta say,
Yeah, she's like, oh my god, that was my girlfriend.
She goes like super saiyan.
I
right
love that. because she's supposed to be such a powerful character, and showing her actually, you don't really get to see people really being badasses like that.
Yeah.
Except like, I guess, in Mass Effect it does have the one intro moment where someone's like this, like Liara killing all those things, or Ashley killing all those things.
Oh, sure.
Jim,
yeah.
But
they're like.
Jim, did you just
intros.
say Super Cyan?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. How to
it's
pronounce
my
it. I don't
effect
watch
on
that
him.
shit.
We did see Thane last time go
Super kinda
Saiyan.
teal.
yeah, I did like Super
Yeah.
Cyan, Thane doing the Matrix fighting. That was really good too, actually. You're right. But yeah, this was a great Arya moment. Like the really, I don't know, it's well acted too. Like how mad she was, and I thought it was it's one of my favorite cutscenes in this game. I thought it was really cool. Her just being like, "He's dead. You killed my girlfriend. I'm gonna kill you."
But she may have the moves, but she doesn't have the brains. Because she walks into yet another shield trap.
No.
She jumps right into one.
Yeah, it seems like, so he's got this like quantum leap experiment thing, and she jumps right in the middle of it, and then like gets this only works if you know what Sam Beckett does at the beginning of Quantum Leap with his arms outstretched, but she jumps into that thing and gets like,
Yep. She's wearing the little white Sam Beckett pajamas. Mm-hmm. Her hologram pal is like, Sam!
Mm-hmm.
Sam!
Arya.
So, yeah, it's up to us then to free her. How do we do this? We have to find 3 separate consoles
4.
to uncover 3
4.
different
4
batteries.
separate consoles. You have to not only configure 4 separate consoles, you have to shoot 4 separate little conduits.
Ugh. While the the unlimited amount of enemies, you can't fight your way through this.
You cannot thin their numbers out. You just have to run from place to place and hope you don't get killed.
Mm-hmm. So I was telling Jim I had to like hotline Miami this, throw the gun, jump over there, press the button,
Yeah.
kick this person in the crotch, grab a bat, Okay, you're not.
This
actually Hotline
this is
Miami
the
yet.
fight that made me finally turn it on to casual mode. I'm just
This one was
fucking
tough.
mad.
I died here a couple times.
I want to say I died here a dozen times.
Wow,
playing
because I was
hard.
trying to kill the adjutants, but I just kept getting overwhelmed. So I just kept if you actually do the running, it's not that bad because adjutants are really slow, and as long as you're running to the opposite side of the room that the adjutants are on, then it's not so bad.
Yeah,
but it's still
you gotta like kitty
pretty tough.
corner that thing.
Yeah, gotta zag.
Yeah, you gotta zag.
Zag it.
Vanessa, how did you find this fight?
I was always playing on casual mode, so I did all right with it. It was just tedious, really. Like, no enemy waves, no repetitive things. Boo. No.
Yeah,
Boo.
just gotta remember to hot dog and not pizza.
Yeah.
Remember to hot dog and not pizza. I don't know what that means.
That's like a South Park joke? No.
It's a skiing thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's French fries in pizza in South Park.
Oh, I thought. Oh, is it French fry and pizza?
I think so.
Oh, that makes sense because
there's Hot Dog the Motion Picture, which is about skiing, right?
what?
I mean, yeah, that's the
And
one
then
I
there's
always...
Hamburger the Motion Picture, which is about racism.
And there's Joysticks, which is about breasts.
Yeah. 80s sex comedies.
That Revenge of the Nerds is the worst one.
Oh yeah.
Nerds. Remember how earlier this week I took a click alignment test and it said I was 100% nerd?
Yeah, Jim,
It
Matthew,
did.
and I are all
Matt-
LARPers.
What the hell is
you all
that?
got LARPers.
I've never LARPed in my life, sir, and I want nothing to do with
Because
any
we're
of it.
slightly
would,
goth. We're
though.
I
slightly
wouldn't.
goth nerds.
Yeah, I don't know how that what that has to do with LARPing. Like
I
me
don't
being
either.
48% goth and 54% nerd, which is more than 100.
Probably
Vampire the
because
Masquerade?
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is a LARP.
Yeah,
Oh.
because we're nerds.
How do
who
you
are
feel
in
about the
touch
fact
with
that
our
I'm more
emotions.
goth than you, Jim?
You're very much more goth than me.
I mean, only like 10% according to.
I mean,
that thing
Matthew
we did.
is wearing mascara, and he's like drawn in tears running down.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I can hear static. I can hear Bauhaus playing in the background.
Bela Lugosi's dead. The bats are in the bell tower.
Goth was also my secondary characteristic, but because I had nerd purity, I was placed in the true nerd category.
Gross. All right. So you free Arya by shooting those batteries, and you go with her to confront Petrovsky, who's like, I give up. I surrender. Cerberus troops stand down. We have lost. Surrender. So I guess I'm a political prisoner now, right?
Yeah, but he does it in a super stupid way where he's like mocking Arya. He's like, and Shepard. He's like, I heard that political prisoners are treated real well by the Alliance.
Well,
and
he
I'm gonna
knows
get a
that
fancy
he is
apartment.
of strategic importance. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like also, like you have the option here to you intimidate him either way, and Arya decides not to kill him, but you can, as Shepard, choose to shoot him. And similar to will you or won't you press the red button from earlier, the game really wants you to shoot him. It gives you multiple opportunities to shoot him.
That is not what happened with me.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't get a choice in this.
Oh.
What happens
So what happened
is
to you?
he didn't even he was like going on about how he's going to be a prisoner. I didn't get him bragging about how good the Alliance jails are. So this scene played out really different for me. Basically, he's like, okay, so capture me. And then immediately Arya's like, no. She goes up, grabs him by the neck, and starts strangling him. And he's like, this is murder. And she keeps strangling him. I'll get some like little Paragon flashes during the 15 seconds, and he's about to black out. She's like, oh, no, I'm going to stop for a second so you remember what's happening, because this is not going to be that easy. And she like chokes him out over 30 seconds or so. And yeah. The end. Well, so I let her kill him because BimJanks, and she's like,
Sure.
Thank you, Shepard, for letting me do that. He was a real bad guy, killed my girlfriend, and she gives BimJanks a quick peck on the lips, a little smooch.
Wow.
Oh, a little smooch.
Yeah, a little smooch.
I got the choking bit as well, and I did
Yeah, but
stop her.
she released. Oh, so do you have to? If you don't stop her, does she kill him? Because I don't remember if I stopped her or not.
I actually
She does
don't
kill him.
either.
She definitely
I-
kills him.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Well, I did stop her then, and then the game, like after he's like, well, if you take, I think it's the Paragon dialogue option where you're like, all right, you can live, but you better have some good information, or we're gonna kill you. And then the game, and then he says something else, and I think that you get a renegade flash, whether to shoot him or not, and I did not do it.
I
used a
got the
different-
impression that Arya's behavior at the end kind of depended on how Paragon-y or renegade-y you had been throughout your experience with her.
Okay.
But
I
maybe
do. This
just
guy
made that up.
gives you, like, completing this and saving that guy gives you a whole buttload of war assets, I think.
Yeah, I probably
think you get a bunch.
like BimJanks is making all sorts of terrible decisions, and I kind of remind me to talk about this in my Squarely Against, because I want to talk about the poorly rewarded renegade path.
Well, the war asset system is so terrible. It's just, it feels so tacked on and not well thought out.
So you won, and in mine, Arya, yeah, she gives you a little smooch and's like, thank you so much. All of my Ezo and my forces and what's left of my fleet is going to be at your command.
Yeah, she did that as well with me, and then she gave a little speech to Omega, and in my case, she sort of gave a speech about how she's back and she's gonna take care of people, and she's very sorry about what happened before. And then she gets a little bit disgusted with herself. She's like, you rubbed off on me. Gross.
Oh, wow.
Ugh, get
Oh,
outta
yeah.
here."
That did not
I like
happen with me at all.
I like the little war asset little lore nugget you get if you decide to look it up. It says that Arya has taken her fleet and turned it into like an Element Zero delivery core for the Citadel.
Okay.
And essentially is like running an Ezo supply line, which I thought was really, really cool of her.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's switch and talk about someone we haven't talked about at all, the Quarians.
The Quarians.
While I make pee-pee.
The Quarians, as you may recall, are a race of people who were driven from their homeworld after they created artificial intelligence called the Geth, and then tried to kill the Geth once they realized they were sentient. So there was a civil war. The Geth drove the Quarians off their planet. The Quarians have a very delicate immune system. So when they interact with other species, they have to wear hazmat suits, essentially.
Yeah. And they've been, they have the largest fleet in the galaxy, known as the Migrant Fleet. And they've kind of consistently been at war with the Geth, but they since the events of, I think it's Mass Effect 1, they have not really, they've been at kind of a stalemate. But you learn when you go to the Quarian ship, and you go to recruit the Quarians because Admiral Hackett tells you that you need their fleet for the war effort. You learn that the Quarians have recently attacked the Geth unprovoked. And in response, the Geth have sided with the Reapers because they want those sweet Reaper tech upgrades to make themselves smarter.
Have they sided with the Reapers, or are they just...
Yes. No,
being
they
controlled?
volunteered themselves to the Reapers because they wanted upgrades, and they were, because the Quarians attacked like a server base where a lot of the Geth intelligence were uploaded to and essentially lived. And that scared the Geth because that's like true death to the Geth, is when their consciousness is deleted from their network. So they went to the Reapers voluntarily and asked for upgrades because they were worried that they were going to be genocided.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Which is what the Quarians have been trying to do all this time.
I thought this was really cool because in the, like, you had always seen the Geth as the aggressors before. And in this, it's like, oh no, it's kind of like the Quarians. There's really no right side in this. Everybody's awful, especially the Quarians in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, we had hints of this in 2 if you did Tali's loyalty mission, where you see that some of the Quarian ambassadors want to retake their home planet. Well, all Quarians do, essentially, except for a few outliers who are like, no, we were kind of the baddies when it came to the Geth. Like, we made them, and then we were like, no, just kidding, you don't get to live. We're going to kill all of you. So we can't really blame them for driving us out of our homeworld, because it's their homeworld too.
The Quarians always talk about, like, we just want peace, and then every time they see a Geth, they get, like, murder happy and want to immediately kill them.
They're like, Geth, kill it!
Yeah, and, like, the little, like, what do you call it? But, like, that saying that all of the Quarians say when they're saying goodbye to somebody, the Kilastalai, actually means, by the homeworld I hope to see one day. So they're always trying to get back to Rannoch.
It's a real Battlestar Galactica situation.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I've been watching that recently.
Galactica is about. I've never seen that.
Because they made the
especially
Cylons.
the like newer series.
Well,
right?
yeah, I've never watched the old one.
Yeah, me either.
I've been watching a bit of the newer series lately, and it's pretty good. Hasn't quite.
I've heard it gets really,
me
really
yet.
good.
Yeah, that's why I'm still watching. It hasn't quite hooked me yet, but it's interesting. I didn't realize, like, I always thought that it was like I always thought it was like set around Earth, but it's not.
It's like,
It's like
Yeah.
12 colonies, and the Cylons kill everybody but like 50,000 people, and now they're running from the Cylons trying to find the lost thingy.
Planet?
Yeah, the lost settlement, Earth.
It's like pre-Earth, right?
I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be pre-Earth or post or what. It's very unclear.
Yeah.
They say frack a lot, and that is always silly in my ears. Like, I just can't take it seriously.
So I really enjoyed seeing Tali again. Tally's one of my favorite characters
Yeah,
in the whole
sorry,
series.
I had assumed that...
Tali, Boss Normandy.
She's not in this game. It's Admiral Zen
Oh,
is there,
well.
and Admiral Zen wants you to. She's sort of kind of telling you about what's happening. She's like, "I'm Claudia Black, so I'm super cool. You might remember me from Dragon Age, and Farscape, and Uncharted."
Speaking of, when Tali joins your party here, thank God for that auto level up button. Just thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Wait,
'Cause
she
you have like
45
60
points to
allocate.
spend. Yeah, it was a
she
lot.
joins your party?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
If
I kind of
Tali's alive,
assumed I kind of assumed she was dead because she hadn't shown up. Nobody talked about her. But
Well, she's an admiral now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's an admiral in the Quarian fleet, and kind of an outcast. Kind of. She has some dialogue later in the game. Maybe it's in one of these missions that. So like their suffix in their name is the ship that they lead or that they're like stationed on. So hers is Talia. It's Talia Naraya, I think, and her suffix is Voss Normandy. And she says that they kind of hang the Voss Normandy around her neck as like it's shameful because it's not part of the Quarian fleet, and that it's a human ship.
Yeah, that's something they did in 2. They strip her of her home ship because she is accused of treason because she sent Geth parts to her father, who then activated them, but that was unbeknownst to her.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, so I have Admiral Zen, who does not become a party member, but she does have very sassy radio messages to you.
She still does, yeah.
Yeah, she's the one like telling you what to do through these missions instead of Tali.
Yeah,
I guess.
she's real genocidal. She wants to kill all these Geth all the time. But what you learn when you get on the Quarian ship is that the Geth have been upgraded by the Reapers, and their intelligence is being supplemented by this Reaper signal. That they've located the source of this Reaper signal. It's on a big Geth dreadnought. And Shepard, because Shepard wants the cooperation of the migrant fleet, agrees to go shut down this Reaper signal.
Now, for this mission, since I didn't have Tali along, I thought, who would be good dialogue-wise? And I brought Edie. Since she has a
Did
lot
you
to say.
still get that sweet pistol?
Which pistol?
They give you the arc
Yes,
pistol
yeah,
at the
yeah.
beginning
Zen
of
gives
the
you that,
Dreadnought
yeah.
mission. Yeah, which is really cool. I kept this pistol until I got the one from the Citadel DLC because it's a really good pistol.
And
Me too.
Edie's like, "Oh, so this is a war crime." And Zen's like, "Oh, yes, but it's not technically a war crime if they're not alive."
Yeah, she does not like the Geth. I really liked this Geth. Can we go ahead and talk about the Geth Dreadnought?
Yeah,
Do
of
we have
course.
anything more to say
No,
about the Quarian stuff?
I'm good.
So the Dreadnought is super cool because I like the way they talk about it because it doesn't function as like a ship that any other race has because like one, the Geth don't need air, so their like airlocks are different, their docks are different. There are no windows on the Geth ships, which they make a joke about.
I like that one.
So when you first approach the Geth Dreadnought, there are no, they call them docking tubes to cross over, but there's one that's like kind of in shambles that's kind of there. So Shepard decides to do like a spacewalk with her like gravity boots and walk through this docking tube. And the whole time, the dialogue between like you and Joker is, oh man, Joker says, I hope they don't look out a window and see you like walking onto their ship. And somebody goes, oh, the Geth ships don't have windows, remember? And Joker's like, do you really think they're going to fall for that twice? Because I think they mentioned that in Mass Effect 2 as well.
Yeah, in Mass Effect 2 on Legion's loyalty mission, you go to a Geth base and he's like, they fly right up to it. And Legion's like, oh yeah, there are no windows because Geth don't need windows.
Yeah, I like that. And I like the way that they design the Geth ships, like the interior of the Dreadnought. It looks so alien and so like just inhospitable to any kind of organic life. Like all of the characters have to wear helmets because obviously they don't really need life support on their ships. It's just really well done, I think.
Yeah. And the Geth are an interesting concept because the Geth really are software. They have these, they call them like mobile platforms, which are
and
their
that's how Edie
hardware
refers
bodies.
to her body as well.
Yeah, but their essence is the software. So they can swap around different bodies and things like that, or just be on the server.
Yeah, they're like a big collective consciousness, and they can essentially upload not even little pieces. They upload essentially their consciousness into multiple bodies. Like they download it into multiple platforms. And if you guys remember, that's what made Legion so special, is that he was kind of a part of, but also distinct from that collective consciousness.
But Legion was like 1,000 or something operating systems.
He was, yeah. He was like a little slice of the collective consciousness of the Geth in its own little body.
And I like how, too, Legion explains that they govern by pure consensus, basically, because they are able to just, at the speed of thought, communicate with each other and parse out a whole bunch of things. I think there's one decision Legion has you make in the second game, which is whether or not to delete these sort of renegade Geth or convert their thinking so that they think like the Legion does. And he's like, yeah, you have to decide because we're at like 49 and 51%, and that's not a consensus. Yeah. We can see it both ways.
I like that concept, and I like that Legion refers to... He doesn't... Like, sometimes he'll say the Geth, and other times he'll say the Geth consensus, which I think is cool. But yeah, so you need to make your way into the...
A lot of this game is like, hey, remember how good Mass Effect 2 was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, but I'm playing this.
But like, I think fighting the Geth here is a nice change of pace, because throughout the whole game you've been shooting Cerberus troops and those cannibal reaper things, and then now it's
kind of bio
Geth,
monsters.
which are totally different, and they have different resistances to like different weaponry, and it's just a cool change of pace.
And
like
fighting
you need to be using
Geth
like
is...
anti-synthetic weapons and anti-barrier weapons, and
And Overload is so much fun if you have it when you're fighting tech things, because you just make like a chain lightning between them, essentially.
Yeah, it's really
and
neat.
They all go...
The only thing, I think the Geth rocket troopers are so annoying.
They are.
But it's very satisfying when you explode their rockets in midair.
I agree with you. Those, I mean, I feel like every type of enemy species or whatever has a version of this, which is somebody that just fucking pummels you with rockets from across the screen, and it's so obnoxious.
I didn't realize you could shoot the rockets. Huh.
I was only able to do it like twice.
On sabotage here.
Do what?
Sabotage. So that's the one where you can turn them to your side for quite a while. And if you do that to the rocket ones, they take care of things real fast.
Can you do it to the Geth Prime?
Yes.
Wow, that's really cool. Those things are
They
tough.
don't. They only last. It only lasts like 5 seconds on a Geth Prime, but they will take out a lot of things. However, but I think it's more if you have a choice, do the rocket one first because they'll really damage and distract.
Yeah.
And it lasts a lot longer on the rocket ones than it does on the Geth Prime.
Yeah, I think they give the rockets from the rocket troopers a little too much tracking. Like they'll curve around corners and stuff to hit you, and it's really
like a
annoying.
briefcase in Hitman.
But we're supposed to make we need to find the source of the signal and shut it down. And we have to go through a couple different things. Like we have to open like a maintenance bay, because the Geth are like closing off our route to the inner part of the dreadnought. So we have to open up a maintenance bay, and there's a part where like there's energy surges coming that will like obliterate your shield if you're not in cover.
Like when you're going through the battery.
Yeah, through the weapon battery. Yeah, you're moving through the weapon battery. That's right.
I found that irritating. It's like
It was irritating.
You have to keep taking cover every time the gun fires, or else it zaps
It gives you a lot of warning. Well, if you're playing with sound, it gives you a lot of warning because you hear like a.
You get some cool Geth weapons here too. You can pick up a Geth plasma shotgun. Which, if I was using a shotgun-wielding character, I equipped on them. And you also get a Geth plasma rifle, which is a gun that I never use even once.
I did equip that because it does a bit more damage than the Reaper beam, and so I equipped that on my soldier, whoever like was doing that kind of combat.
Yeah. So eventually we make our way to the source of the signal, and probably not for John. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Could you get the, you don't have to do it right now, but the name of the battle rifle that you use? Because I couldn't figure out which gun that was.
The one that I was talking about?
Yeah, the one that fires a few shots, like a burst.
That's the Disruptor.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, that one's good. So we make our way to the source of the signal, and it is Legion.
Yay!
Who's like being used as kind of like a transmitter for this Reaper signal to the broader Geth consensus.
But it's not really Legion.
I love Legion.
It's a VI.
Oh, well, that's if Legion is dead, it's a VI.
Oh.
Otherwise, it's real boy Legion.
Well, mine's not a real boy.
I got Real Boy Legion. This time Matthew's the one with the different. So is there any difference between Real Boy Legion and VI Legion?
He's got some like spots on his body that are clearly like hologram.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
And if it's Legion, like I love Legion's design. He's like real battered and he's missing parts of himself. I think that's really cool. But yeah, Legion tells you that you need to like disconnect him from this terminal in order to stop the broadcast of the signal. So you just have to kind of climb up onto this little platform and do a little doohickeyin.
Does Legion's design still reminds you a little bit of the episode 1 and 2 droids? A little bit?
I agree. It's his head.
Yeah.
Which is like that curve.
And the,
yeah. Roger.
Yeah, exactly.
Shepard Commander. And he's patched himself with some of Shepard's old armor.
Yes, he's got like some N7 type armor on him.
Because he is a huge fanboy.
He's super cool. I really wish you could use him as a party member, but
Yeah,
cannot,
sadly no.
unfortunately.
Zen, when you come back with Legion, Zen's like, "What? Kill it! As soon as she sees it, and she's like, "Oh, I guess we can study it and tear it
There's
apart."
a lot of really, because like after this mission, both Legion and Zen come on to the Normandy, and there's a lot of really interesting dialogue between them, because Legion is really trying to he's really trying to broker peace. Like he doesn't want to see any Quarians killed because he doesn't want to see any more Geth killed. And he tells you, like I said earlier, that they've got their first taste of what actual death is when the Quarians blew up their servers. So he's like, we do not want that anymore.
We do not like.
So he's really trying to broker peace here, but Zen is like not having it, and she's so skeptical. But he does give you a hot tip about some like fighters. What is it? Like some like a Geth fleet or something like that
Geth
that's going to
fighter
attack.
fleet.
Yeah. which is if you want to get the best ending of this whole Quarian Geth conflict, you need to complete that mission. It's absolutely imperative that you do that.
Where
I think
is
we're
that
going to
mission
talk about that
on
next time.
Rannoch, or is it somewhere else?
It is on Rannoch, yeah, but it's not. You know what's really confusing is Legion tells you that there's a Geth like fighter fleet, but the mission is called Geth Server Base on Rannoch. Yeah.
I did that one
Yeah.
this time. Well, I did last time too, because I got the super happy cool ending the first time, but I got the BimJanks.
Oh,
ending.
the bad ending is such a bummer. I got that
the
on accident the first time I
BimJanks
played it.
ending this time.
Yeah, because so can we? I mean, are we stopping now? Or?
Yeah, we're stopping.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is what I played up to.
yeah, exactly.
So what are we playing to next time?
Let me,
Well, I think we should definitely finish the Quarian homeworld stuff.
Yeah, let's
and
do all
there's-
the Rannoch stuff.
Yeah, all the Rannoch stuff, which is like 3 quests. And do we want to tack Leviathan on, maybe?
ooh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do Rannoch, Leviathan, and should we do Sanctuary too?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do Sanctuary as well. That's all of Miranda's stuff.
Okay, cool. I do like Miranda.
Cool. Yeah.
Other important missions?
I thought it
You
might
get-
be worth mentioning Arya's gang recruitment missions at this point.
That one is a real renegade leaning one. And you can do it. You can do it
Yeah.
Paragon style, but it's
I
a
did
real
one of them Paragon style.
corrupted morality kind of thing. It's like that one episode of Star Trek Vanessa really likes, where Cisco has to do some bad things.
I didn't do any bad things. I only do very good things, except for the time I shot the camera because I thought it was funny. So Arya wants you to recruit the Blood Pack, the Blue Suns, and the Eclipse, which are the sort of 3 big gangs that we have encountered in these games before. And she says, if you get them all to work for me as like Mega Crime Lord number 1, then I'll have them fight against the Reapers for you.
So it's
And
the
one of the missions.
it's the Blue
one of the
Suns,
missions-
the
Blood
Green Clovers, and the Yellow Horseshoes.
Blue Suns, Eclipse, Blood Pack.
I was making a Lucky Charms joke.
I know. So one of them, and I can't remember which is which, but one of them, in order to get the loyalty of the gang, they want you to get their leader out of CSEC jail. And so you go to the CSEC office, or you go to talk to Bailey because you need to talk to this person who's in charge of this gang. And you find out that she's just an absolute psychopath. Like, she's an absolute menace.
She's
so you can either
Hannibal Lecter.
yeah, so you can either choose to lobby for her freedom, or you can just say to her right-hand person, you're just going to lead the gang now.
Yeah. I like if
And
you
that's what I
go
did.
like talk to her on the camera. She's like, oh, you have to let me out because you need my help. But guess what? When I get out of here, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill
Yep.
the other humans. I'm going to kill everyone. There's going to be so much blood, and I will never, ever stop.
I believe if you do let her live, then Arya is like, okay, we've signed the deal. And she just shoots her right away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's like, oh, I was never going to work with that lady. She cuckoo. But she couldn't tell you because it would have blown the deal.
And one of the gang leaders really wants to bone Arya.
Yeah. He's like, you tell Arya that we're going to bone because
She
that
says
was our
that's
deal.
Never going to happen.
Yeah.
Arya makes it pretty clear that that is not their deal.
And I don't remember what the other one is.
There's the one where you like go to the apartment and
oh, right. It's
the
the like
guy's like-
weird apartments that you only go into twice in the game.
yeah, you go to the apartments and this guy's like, okay, you're here, that's great. Put your weapon down and put your hands behind your back. And if you go along with it, these people come in and the guy's like, see, I delivered Shepard to you. So we have a deal, and the one guy's like, yeah, I guess we have a deal. And he's like, oh, I wasn't talking to you. And then the guy's right-hand man shoots him, and he's like, yeah, we have a deal. Now I'm the leader. Later. I don't know what happens if you don't go along with his scheme.
I don't know. I went along with it too, I think.
Yeah.
But you do get a whole bunch of fighters, like both ground forces and Blue Sun ships, and then if you talk to Hackett about it, he's like, "Yeah, they're real good. I don't want to know how you got these. Don't tell me."
Yeah.
We're just gonna go with it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that these are all like narrative missions. They don't require you to fight 10 waves of enemies.
No.
You just need to do some diplomacy, which I thought was cool.
Fun narrative mission involving Kasumi. Did you all do this one?
No,
I
this is the
did.
one that bugged out for me.
Oh, okay. So you find this Solarian, and he's like, "Hey, I'm investigating. There must be some kind of Cerberus informant on Citadel."
So there's a Hanar diplomat, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's suspected of being a Cerberus informant.
Yeah.
This guy's name also, and for some reason I can't get it out of my head. It's like one of those things that gets stuck. His name is Jondum Bao.
Oh yeah.
Jundum.
And he's like, "Oh,
Jondum Bao.
also I've been trying to find this Kasumi for a long time, but I think she's dead, or I'll never find her." And you go to your super secret Spectre headquarters, and she's there. She's like, hey, so let's help John the Bao do this thing. He's like, "Well, he's after you, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it." And so you have to go around finding data packets to prove that it is the Hanar diplomat, and they actually are giving them info. So you find this one office and get some emails from there. Then it does not tell you this, but you have to go to the docks and read a terminal there. Like, I had to Google this because I was like trying to figure out how to advance this story.
Yeah, when you get these missions where you have to like scan these consoles or whatever, if you pull up your map and cycle through the different levels of the Citadel, it will call out where you need to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, because I had the same thing, because like apparently, if you don't finish this mission all at once, like when I was playing it, I scanned all the consoles except for the very last one. I went and did some missions and then went back. If you don't do it all in one, there's no prompt to scan the final console to go talk to John Bao, so you can't finish it.
Oh, weird.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. It's a bummer.
So I did find the final console, and then you go to that office that's right in the embassy. It's the one office that's part of the embassy, and there's a whole there's a whole fight here, and Kasumi actually saves John Bao's life. Do you remember why? I can't remember. Was it the Hanar pulls a gun, or?
I don't remember a Hanar pulling a gun.
Which is just some dudes there. But yeah, Kasumi seemingly sacrifices her life and gets thrown against the wall, saving the Solarian. And then Shepard's like, "Well, she gave her life for this information, so it better be worth it." And he's like, "Okay, I'm not going to even check this body. I believe you.
Yeah.
She's dead." And you walk away, and he's like, Shepard's like, "Kasumi, you can come out now." And she's like, "Hi." "Well, thanks for that, Shepard." It was a cute little. I like that mission.
Yeah. Kasumi really is the thief with the heart of gold.
She's a lot of fun. I would play a Mass Effect that's all about working in her like thieves guild or something. So there's going to be a stupid Shepard game again. Come on, Shepard's the boringest character. Ugh.
It's unclear what, if anything, Mass Effect 5 will be about. I say if anything because it's unclear where it is in development and whether or not it will actually come to fruition. I hope it does. I love the series.
Yeah, me too.
I think Dragon Age
I don't really see how they
4 is
could.
coming out first. Dragon Age 4 is coming out first.
Yeah. Dragon Age 4 is coming pretty soon.
Dragon Age 4 is looking dope as fuck.
I'm excited for it. Mm-hmm. I saw someone complaining about like the way the menu looked in Dragon Age 4, and it looks exactly like it has always looked in every Dragon Age game. I don't understand.
I'm a little worried that they're trying to turn it into like a Dark Souls with the combat, but it's so early that I don't know that that's the case.
Yeah, I think that the early impressions I saw were people said that the combat is very much like the God of War reboot, God of War 2018.
Okay. I mean, isn't that a Dark Souls ripoff? Isn't that the whole deal?
Not. I mean, a little bit, but it's pretty. It
Lot
definitely
of bit.
has a little. Not as much as Jedi Survivor or whatever that one was called.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
I would assume that you'll be able to adjust the camera like you can in every other Dragon Age game and do it either as like a first person kind of combat or over the shoulder combat or as like a top down thing, but we'll see.
Yeah, I like that you can do like MMO type combat in Dragon Age, especially Inquisition.
Mm-hmm.
I played through all those Dragon Age games, the top down turn based.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And I prefer the more up close behind the character way.
Me too. All right, well, that's it for this one. We have war assets in the notes, but I don't know that there is much to this. I will say that I do get a kick out of reading the war assets text. Entries. Yeah, I like reading it. I think there's a lot of cool color it provides to a lot of the races in the game, especially like because it doesn't really tell you much about the Vorcha in the game, but there's a lot of cool stuff about the Vorcha and the Batarians, and like there's a Batarian general that you can recruit, and when you read his entries, it says a lot about like the Batarian culture, and I think that's really cool. But I think the point system is real silly.
I added Dr. Ann Bryson to my war assets.
Yeah, she's cool.
Who is she again?
The Leviathan side quest. Is it a side quest?
Oh, yeah.
It's a DLC.
It's DLC, and we're going to talk about it next time.
Oh, well, I already did it.
All right. So, like we said, next time we're going to finish the all the missions on Rannoch. We're going to do the Leviathan DLC, and we're going to do Miranda's questline, which ends at Sanctuary.
That seems like a lot to me. May I make a counter proposal?
Sure.
What if instead of doing Priority Horizon, which is Miranda's, we do Priority Thessia?
Oh, that's a good suggestion.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Thessia is the Asari homeworld.
It is. Johnny, are you okay with that?
Yep, I just updated the next time.
Thank you very much.
All right, so, guys, what are you squarely against, Matt?
Those rocket launchers really pissed me off. Really got under my skin. Like, it feels like a classic arcade game where the game doesn't, like, get smarter. It just shoots harder, hits harder, and piles more enemies on top of you. Like, yeah, I'm getting very frustrated with the combat. Even now that I have it on casual and I don't ever die, I still I don't like it. I don't like waves of enemies. I don't know. Maybe things will turn around, but so far, this is the worst Mass Effect game we've played.
No, actually, the enemy waves is just going to get worse.
Great. Great. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not like 1 out of 10, I hate this game, but certainly, it's the most boring Mass Effect game. Anyway, Vanessa, what are you squarely against?
I'm squarely against Arya T'Loak. She sucks.
I agree.
She's a terrible person. She's a horrible leader.
It's a real Boba Fett.
She's emotionally abusive to her girlfriends. She thinks she's like the coolest person in the world. She has no respect for Shepard.
She's a real main character. Like the type of person that thinks they're the main character.
Yeah. I hate her, and I was really bitter that I had to give Omega back to her because she is awful and she doesn't deserve to be leading anything.
Oh, yeah. Can I follow up squarely against? Why did Nyreen die? That sucked.
That does suck.
She
It
was
did suck.
good and cool, and I wanted her to stick around. And instead, we have
It was such an opportunity to
Arya.
be like,
She got fridged.
yeah, to either choose like Arya or Nyreen to lead, or have some sort of dialogue where you're like, I think you should do it together because
It was a real opportunity to provide depth to Arya too. Like giving her a love interest lets you showcase a softer side and lets her like actually fight for something other than herself. But
Yeah.
then the game just kills her.
Yeah. Well, and also like at no point when she was interacting with Nyreen did she seem to actually care about her.
No,
Just
she's
like,
so
"Ugh,
fucking
stupid
mean to her.
Nyreen."
Oh, you're such a scaredy cat when those adjutants
Yeah,
are
you're a
around.
scaredy cat. I remember how I always used to tell you suck, but that was just to toughen you up because you
Yeah.
need to be tough in life. It's like
I like
such
that the
bullshit.
game gives you an opportunity to jump in and be like, all right, Arya, that's enough. Quit
Yeah.
being such a jerk.
So, yeah, Arya. Squarely against. Don't like her? I hope a Reaper eats her. Johnny, what are you squarely against?
I am squarely against. So playing through as a renegade, there's no reason to choose these renegade choices. They suck all the time. You're just being like belligerent and an asshole. There's no benefit to it. It's okay. So it's tougher choices to make. And everyone's gonna hate you for it, and you get nothing in return. Like you're gonna get less war assets. Everyone's gonna hate you. All your friends die. Like I remember them saying, like, "Oh, well, why do we make half a game that no one ever plays?" They would play it if the choices had good rewards, or like some people would like you for being that way, or you save lives by being a renegade. But they give you this like, "I'm gonna drown all the kittens" path that no one wants to choose because it sucks. And it does suck.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just badly. The renegade path is terrible. There's no joy to it. It's not even satisfying. It's just being mean for the sake of being mean. If they had made it so that you save more lives or there's good to come out of being a renegade, it would have been a lot better.
Well, in
Did Jim, have you gone?
I haven't gone yet.
What are
no,
you
but this
squarely
is
against?
supplemental to
oh.
what you just said.
Yeah.
So let me say it. In 2, there's that one renegade choice where you can stab the guy in the back, and I think it does make like the ship easier to fight later. So it seems like there could be a lot of opportunities where you could make these renegade choices that would give you some kind of like combat advantage, and then you could see why.
Don't you
people
stab
would
him
do
with
it.
like a wrench or something?
Yeah, you stab him with a wrench.
That's like the one time that it saves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a really good one in 2 where you blow up some barrels and you skip a fight.
I mean, it would make
So give us
sense.
more of that.
It would make sense for the renegade option to make things easier. Like you're choosing the easy route. You're shooting somebody in the back instead of having to talk to them face to face, and that would make sense. But it's like you said. Instead, the game is the same, but you just feel gross.
Yeah.
At least that was my experience with 2.
At least with playing as the renegade in Omega, at least you do get Arya liking you a lot more because you're always agreeing with her.
Oh, what a reward.
Oh yeah.
Liked by terrible people. If I want to be liked by terrible people, wait, I am liked by terrible
Yeah,
people.
I was gonna say just keep up what you're doing. on
Keep
Twitter.
doing what I'm
Keep
doing
it on.
on the internet.
I will say that I'm going to join John in being squarely against the renegade options. Like he said, they're either terrible or even worse, they're really boring. And they're just like barely bad. Like there's one later in the game, a character tells Shepard, you can't do this. And the natural dialogue option, Shepard says, oh no, we're going to do it. And then there's a renegade prompt and you hit it and Shepard goes, we're going to do it. And that's it. That's the renegade dialogue option. Is just saying the same thing you just said.
2
it's
did
really
have
silly.
those like satisfying moments where you could punch people in the face too, which is pretty good. I guess 1
yeah.
had that too. Like with your greatest fan, you can punch him in the face. With the renegade option.
What's his name again?
Conrad.
I always forget his name.
Conrad.
Conrad. Is it? Yeah, Conrad. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, it's really boring. But I will say I'm roundly for the Geth stuff. I find that to be very interesting, and I actually think every ending to it is, I wouldn't say satisfying, but it's fun to watch it play out. It just makes sense given how they've written this conflict. So I think that's cool. All right, we are going to forego emails this week. We just keep going along with these Mass Effect episodes.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, it's not a bad thing, but
Well,
we do go along.
There's a lot of story.
Yeah.
And it's one where we all really got engaged with the material. I think if only 2 people get engaged with the material.
I don't really agree with you. I think I already said this, but I am finding this game boring. Like, I am more bored with this game than I was with fucking Xenoblade.
Huh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I just don't think it's that interesting. I don't think this plot is interesting. I don't think these characters are interesting. It's just a slog. And the worst part is the combat, as I keep harping on, the combat I am bouncing off of hard. Like, I just don't like it. I mean, at least in Xenoblade, the combat
play it
was
as just a real cover shooter.
I mean, I guess, but I don't like cover shooters. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, everyone. Well,
like you.
that's it for this episode of Square Roots. I would like to remind everyone that we have a great
And a
Patreon,
vote.
which you can join at patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast. We do have a vote live right now for our next game. It is a D&D extravaganza. We've got Baldur's Gate, we've got Neverwinter 1 and 2, and we've got Planescape Torment. If you would like to cast your vote and tell us what game we should play after Mass Effect 3, you can become a patron at patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast. At the $3 level, you get access to all of our great bonus content, which this month will include a feature-length episode of Full Page Failure. We'll have to think of a good prize for the winner of that. I think it's going to be a good test of video game advertising knowledge. At the $5 level, you get access to all of that great content, plus that great ability to vote on the games that we play on the show. And no matter what tier you subscribe at, we do every week like to thank some of our patrons personally. I'm going to kick us off this week by thanking the Joe Krogan Rexperience, Miguel Torres, Northern Loon, Trey, Butts on Parade, Tyler, Dova Keen's Discount Dragon Barn, Amanda Douglas, Jacob, Xenogussie 2 Esquire, David Green, and Fresh Eyes.
I'd like to thank Isaac Wright, Kyle, My Battery is Low, Tracy, Michael Tully Klein Jr., Eduardo Franco, Abortion Rights Are Human Rights, RP Siege, Tom, Julie, Shepherd Saves Sid by the Seashore, and William Westgard.
I would like to thank Nawford, Carmen Liz, Robert T, Hexagon, Double Penetration 2099, Sexy Grandma's Retirement Home, Ward Childress, Ari Kopavara, Samu Mitchell, Hang It Up, Cyril the Wolf, and Eric Garby.
I'd like to thank Slightly Aroused Grandma, friend of DeSoto, Aaron O'Toole, Eric Pitkameni, Aaron Sorkin, my own, oh no, Jack Mizell, Mikey Mucho, Arthur A., Nick, Matt Jorgensen, Esteban Gonzalez, Brian Pitt, Andy, and Joseph.
All right, everyone, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. You can send us an email at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. We also have a Facebook group called the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people. Or find Vanessa's alt-right comedy on Twitter at Square Roots Pod.
Yeah. Come like my tweets.
Vanessa's very pro soy boy, soft boys. That's not all
What was
right.
great about that comment is that other people had liked it who obviously understood that I was not agreeing with the sentiment in the article. So I don't know where it came from. I don't know if she's trying to like regain love from people by being then in on the joke, which is at her expense. I don't know.
I like to think it's just because she has zero self-awareness.
Yeah, very well could be the case.
please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as BeigeOnBeige and on YouTube. Links in the show notes.
All right, everyone, for Square Roots, I am Jim
I'm
Banks.
Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
Vanessa.
Bye.